Get to finals, you can't let that pressure get to you. Day one is about experimentation.
Yeah, I mean, Nongshim getting the eliminations.
Exactly.
They've got 20, one placement point. Godlike, on the other hand, getting the placement, finding those positions in center zone, but unfortunately not having the split hold to have the wave of enemies that are coming around from the rotation into the circle. So, obviously, we know Godlike can get these eliminations.
Yes.
They can take them on, do these third parties well, but also future-proof their rotation into the map. So today is their day. I agree.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Especially with A matches too. If the first match doesn't go your way, I mean, we do have the two Miramars. The good thing about this, right, is that we do have that Rondo in the third match, which I feel like is going to remind me of what Sandhawk used to be. If for some reason those first two matches don't end up going your way, that Rondo might be that Kickstarter for some of their squads.
That's exactly what we've been discussing, right? I think a lot of people have had that discussion of where should Rondo be placed in a round in a day, right? And I think this is going to be a really interesting test to actually see, you know, if Rondo is really, really good in the middle of those of that rotation, of that map rotation. For me, I'm thinking, heck yeah, this is going to be exactly what some of these teams will need. You get that extra recall, you get that extra life, you get all those eliminations. That's the momentum that we start to see some teams trying to build. For Thrives, for instance, was trying to build that momentum yesterday, you know, third-partying the hot drop. So for them, if they have a not-so-good Miramar session in the first half of today, that Rondo should be excellent for them.
I'm loving the energy that we're getting from the fans right now, whether it's Four Thrives fans. We got Hora right here. This man just popping off too. Four Thrives having some of the best loyal gamers, that BLG squad that they have there supporting them. We'll see what they're going to be capable of. But talking about how you said earlier, you think, which team was it that you thought was one of the only ones that could actually, oh, Nongshim,
Yeah,
right? The only team.
One of the only
teams. Which are the other
Way
few?
to take our words and twist it.
I know,
That's
right?
crazy.
Well, then tell us which other ones.
Okay, I think it's probably Aurora.
Agreed.
Aurora would do that. Vitality would do that.
You don't agree, Blank?
You don't agree with Aurora?
I think Aurora crack like an egg all the time, dude. I think that's totally fair to say. I think group stage Aurora is unreal. Qualifications Aurora, also unreal. Finals Aurora is just a different beast, man, okay? I think if you can back them into a corner, then it could be really good. I do think Aurora's played slightly better this time, but I am getting some moments where I'm like, oh God, it's happening again. I can feel the docketing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You start talking about Aurora, I get past this time for Aurora as well. We gotta be careful with what we say here. Fans are so close by too. Luckily, everybody has been amazing here. Whether it's a Four Thrives fan, Horror fans, Aurora fans, and for all the fans currently here, don't forget you can go check out the Fan Zone experience here at EWC 26, whether it's the awesome collaboration that we got a chance to see a show match for with PUBG Mobile and Naruto, or you can go check out the Brain Rot Royale, which I've been playing. I think I'm at level 7 or 8 now, I can't remember exactly, so I'm just gonna go on brand and say 7 and then just get some of the other cool stuff. We have gotten so many shirts. Actually, for disclosure purposes, I've only gotten one shirt.
One shirt. Yes.
Have you gotten any shirts, Mike?
Oh, I don't have a wardrobe or anything like that from this event. That's not happened.
No.
I've got nothing.
It's so cool though. It's so cool though. Lacey, you finally get
single
one.
item.
No.
They're gonna play. They're gonna play that security.
I got triple T's. Tongue. Sorry.
They're gonna play the security camera from earlier when we were actually over there before anybody was there. Us just putting shirts in the tote bags with Naruto. I'm like, yes, take all of that. But as we're gonna be heading here towards a match, especially in Miramar, is there one team that you're looking to kickstart off the day with Miramar?
Four Thrives. For me, Four Thrives has to do it now. Yes, they will have that second chance in the Rondo, but for me, they're tied in 7th and 8th place. They just one good game. They need this. They feed off momentum so much that if they want to survive all 8 matches and still be on top, they have to start now.
I think it's a weird day for Four Thrives, honestly, because they love to start on Rondo. They say all the time in the past that Rondo is their best map.
Yeah.
Usually they start off on Rondo really strong and then they can transfer that momentum. Starting on Miramar, I don't think that it's the craziest map. I still think they can play it. For me, it's probably S2G. S2G has had a tendency in the past for miracle Miramars.
Yeah, I have to agree with that as well.
Yes.
And plus, Miramar, you get 2 at the start, 2 at the end. So these are like practice Miramars, you know what I'm saying? And then right at the end, that's where you have all playability
re-pop
and
off.
energy. Yeah, the re Yes.
I'm going to be looking at Ulf Esports because of what they were able to do yesterday, especially on the last game. They were able to get that chicken dinner, get those extra placement points. But if we were to remove that one chicken dinner out of Ulf, you would end up noticing that they would only end up having one placement point. And for me, that is the biggest red flag out of these teams when you're not able to just convert only on elims and the placement points start fading away. I know you say that, yes, a team doesn't really need a chicken dinner to be able to win Pmwc, but in my eyes, they do need to be consistent at least towards the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, the beige flag right now is fourth rise, right? We're in the middle ground. I mean, the 4 placement points, not great, but it is promising to see this still 21 eliminations. That shows, you know, gusto going to these matches, which I really do like.
Yeah, 4 thrives. We saw some of this instance yesterday. I think that's what it was. Especially the one that I really have to nitpick, Nepturo, with 4 thrives has to be when they decided to coexist with Hora Esports for a little bit too long. I feel like that ended up hurting them in a big way in that match. It would have been one of those things where we usually tend to see them being a little bit more aggressive, making teams back off, but that wasn't the case.
Well, yeah, if you pull into their like elimination average, which is 5.25 at the moment, group stages was only 6.25. They're actually upholding their elimination value. Placement, exactly what you said, Seven. They are taking too long on these fights early on, and they have actually not made it really into that top 10 sort of scenario very much. So if they can just obviously push themselves, just give up the fight a little earlier, guys, and get yourself into that rotation, their eliminations will match, and they will actually do a lot better today.
And as we're seeing there in 16th place, Ida Esports with just 2 points. Those 2 points coming from eliminations. This is a team, we're talking about give up the fight, talking about wanting to fight. This is a team that needs to figure out what they actually want to do, because we saw them hot drop with Enigma Galaxy 3 times yesterday, and after the first one, Rauf called him out, which, by the way, Rauf, keep on talking that smack, baby, because when you talk that smack is when we actually start seeing your true potential. You get that little chip on your shoulder. But yeah, for Enigma Galaxy, for Ida especially, they need to just get rid of those hot drops.
Absolutely, dude. You're throwing. I mean, there's no other way to put it, but you are just throwing at that point. Today, though, is great because we don't start on Rondo or Erangel. We just go to Miramar. So hopefully no hot drops there. If there is hot drops,
there are
may need to have like a stern fatherly conversation with Ida at some point.
There could be a couple here going into Miramar, unless some teams decided to adjust. But enough talking. You guys saw us talk yesterday. You guys saw us talk right now. It's time we get into this games of day 2, Pmwc at EWC Finals.
Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue at EWC here in Paris. This is the second day of Pmwc here in Paris. I'm so excited, Bunny. What's happening here?
Our attention now shifts to the teams that have to perform well today, because just 8 maps remain until we set the smash score going into Championship Sunday.
Yeah, Bunny, and it's crucial to not fall behind and to stay on the top of these rankings, because everything played today as well.
That's right, we've got young contenders, historic rivalries, and legends of the game ready to go toe-to-toe on the Gadia City grid.
The better player on Worlds meet again for insane games, but which team will seize the opportunity and rise above the rest?
One step closer to $3 million, inching towards the trophy, the status, the glory, and the legacy. And so it is time to kick off day 2 of the Pmwc Finals at the EWC 2026.
Oh, we are so glad to be back. It's time for Miramar to get locked on in. We've been waiting since yesterday to jump into this map. We are going to be treated to that now. and it could not be more important for all of our teams here. They are going to need those points every single time they can get them, and they've got 8 chances today.
That's what it's all about here, to be on top of the leaderboards going into the final day of this tournament tomorrow. That smash point threshold will be set at the end of the day. Normally we start the day off hot in Rondo, but we're going to be starting it off hot in the sandy Miramar Desert. So let's get it going, John. I'm excited for this one.
Oh, absolutely. It is so important for all of these teams to keep their nerve, because today is a bit of a marathon, right? With these, with the unexpected 8 games today, you have to have the stamina. You have to be looking for it. It's so much more important than usual. It's kind of easy to disregard. Maybe you think, oh, it's only 2 extra games in the day, but that's another maybe up to 2 hours that you need to keep your mental focus locked in, dialed down and under control, because every single point matters. Every single match can make the difference, and our players know it more than most.
That is right here, folks. $1.7 million on the line here in the finals all by itself. $3 million prize pool total. First place team going to be taking home $500,000. Woo-hoo! That is exactly what these teams are going to be fighting for here. So like you mentioned, today is definitely a marathon. I'm really interested to see how these teams have prepared for this, how their coaches are going to be kind of hyping them up. I was getting a little bit of a view backstage and while hearing some of these coaches talk to their teams, like, look, I want consistency. I want to see you guys be able to play the game that got you here in the first place. And that's what we definitely need to see.
What I'm kind of interested in as well is, normally you've played the Miramars the previous day, you have all evening, all night to recollect your thoughts about how your Miramar performances went, to be able to re-engage those strategies, anything you noticed, anything you wanted to change, you can really fully brief your team as a coach, as an analyst. Now, they're going to have to do that on the fly. They're going to have to do that faster for specifically Miramar than we've seen for any other map. And so that could be an interesting dynamic to let unfold here in terms of those point scoring when it comes to the end of today and the last 2 matches of it. As we're getting locked in, our players boarding the plane for the first time. Looking ready. Hopefully Ida don't get too hot with their drops. We know what they like to do, but it's not, as the desk was highlighting there, it is not Erangel. It's not Picardo. Sorry, it's not. It may be Picardo. I hope it's not. It's not Erangel. It's not Rondo. So they have to try and get some points on board.
They need to desperately. Let's get this one started here, folks. You can see the players are excited. I'm hyped. I know y'all guys at home are excited to see some serious PUBG Mobile right down the center in a beautiful diagonal. So these teams, no crazy plane paths to start us off here. But I like what you mentioned, you know, we have to look at it for what it is, right? We're playing 2 Miramars today, and then we're gonna be finishing with Miramar today. So it's gonna be really interesting to see like how these teams are gonna go into these 2 matches. And it's gonna give these coaches a lot of time, right? In between all the other matches to prepare for those final 2. So I'm interested to see how these squads start here and end here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it would be interesting to compare the differences. We haven't seen them yet. I'm talking in the future now. But compare the differences to the adjustments that we're going to see potentially on Erangel, and then look at what adjustments we may see from the start Miramars to the end Miramars today. But that's a conversation for later on, because we do have to get stuck into the action. Hopefully not super quickly, but stranger things have happened. At the moment, I'm not seeing too much danger on these drops. It looks like teams are fairly extricated from one another. It's a little bit interspersed on the east side here, though. Hot Jukes with Tianba and S2G. However, I don't imagine that's going to be too much of a problem. Grab some vehicles, get back, regroup. The circle up to the north side should help to pull that apart as well. Maybe some danger between Godlike and Orangutan, but yeah, they're far enough afield. I don't think that they're going to get too aggy with it.
Yeah, you can see Enigma Galaxy, they're going to be heading on over to El Pozo. That is normally Alpha 7's drop, but they are not here in the finals, so they should be able to get looted up pretty quick here. They're going to start off by, of course, securing those vehicles. Super important inside of Miramar. Koops right in the trike. You can see him looking up, being like, trike, come on, man. Where is my UAS? Where's my Murado? He's going to need to find something else here. Or stuck to doing Some little baby looting here. They're going to be fighting some buildings. But,
They should be all right.
yeah, they should be plenty. They'll have plenty of time here to get looted up.
Yeah, they're fairly center on this one. They could potentially break out towards some of the areas in Crater Field to send some looting over there. Alula as well, likely to head towards La Cobraria. Maybe try and hold some of the hills, leave an outpost down south. Aurora gets some target practice in. Yep, that bush is gone. That's no points for that, though. Unfortunately, shrubbery does not count towards your elimination total.
Hey, you always got to check the bush, all right? You never know. You never know. There could be a random player hiding in that one. And you're going to see QZZ get his Murata, so he's going to be driving fast down the lane. But yeah, you got to get some. Got to get the fingers warmed up here.
Ooh, I'm seeing a duo from Aura kind of chasing Quick from Alula up north near La Cobraria. It seems like they wanted to try and get engaged with that fight, but I don't think they've been able to hunt it down. Quick just a little bit too up to his namesake. Hang on a minute. They are back on the road again. And Quick is turning tail, moving back towards the rest of the roster for Alula. In the middle of La Cobraria, they're still hiding out, and he has to dunk it out by the concretes. Now he's holding on the upstairs. Backup needs to come through, but currently no response really being seen from the rest of Alula. They're leaving him kind of high and dry as Jiggle from Aura is going to try and descend on this location too. Finally, they're into the vehicles and they're coming in for the rescue. But will it be too little too late as Quick has to go for the hot swap to the UMP juice?
What a sick shot with that shotgun. Unfortunately, it doesn't hit the mark enough to get a knock. And you can see Sleepy, he ended up going to that other side there because he doesn't have a vest at all. He wanted to be able to at least get something. But because of this fight, now you got the rest of Aula being able to hunt them down. You can also see some of the other members of Aura going to come try and support these three men. Can he hit the shot? No, unfortunately, Reb doesn't get it. It is a 3v3 from this close end, but the fourth is coming, and that off angle. Let's see how this turns out.
I mean, when you have that south side hill under lock and key for No Fear, if he's going to get engaged here into the fight, maybe not, maybe more preoccupied with some loot, they say, you know what, it's fine, we got this under control. They're not pushing, they're being timid. They have lost the player so early. It's not what you want to see. A very aggressive roll down coming through from Aura in that scenario. Did not want to let Quick get away. I thought maybe they had stopped off a little bit before, but no. They just kept on going, kept hounding that one down. It's worked out here. The question now for me is, as I always talk about with early engagements, how long are you going to spend getting stuck in on this one?
That's the exact question, right? So I like what Aura did, right? They saw a solo player, chase him down, get the secured point. That's fine. I'm starting to wonder what Aula's doing. Yep, because of the fact that they are taking way too long. They are getting caught out, and now here comes Aura on the push. Sky running in with the UMP, looking to get those finishes, and they are on the run. Nasser trying to at least get some angles here. Ooh, hits the croucher, but it's not going to be good enough. It's Aura to delete the first squad here on day 2 of the finals.
Every player getting their elim. Horror getting stuck in early on Miramar. 4 eliminations for the team, 1 apiece. Sleepy will get back to his feet, and they can look to re-establish control back down towards Crater Fields. They may need a little bit more loot on side, depending on how much was going through. I think I did spot a Winchester on one of the players for Horror, so probably looking to get that one replaced, although there will be crates on the players coming through from Alula as well. In the meantime, though, Godlike has managed to capitalize on this opportunity from this northeast side. They've managed to move in and could contest for the Crater Heels approach.
All right, yeah, you can see these movements coming out really, really quick. Leaderboards you can see right there on the right of your screen here, folks. E-Arena up on top, waiting to see when Godlike's going to wake up. They definitely need to here today. They're sitting in 14th place with 13 points. Let's see if they can do it. There's still plenty of matches here to be played here, folks. I have a big feeling these leaderboards are going to get shaken up big time by the end of the day.
I mean, we talked about it yesterday a little bit, that 18 match sets, generally you can put more stock into your averages performance rather than those big E-Arena 29 limmers kind of coming on through.
Yeah.
Which, even then, didn't serve them too well in a 12-match set, which is absolutely insane. But, yeah, absolutely. I'm talking about getting consistent 6-pointers on the boards is so great for your team. If you can do that, every time you get further than that, brilliant. Beautiful stuff. Furia running into a little bit of a roadblock in the form of Enigma Galaxy, but a 1v1 over the top of the hill. Silence shuts him out. And Lord will no longer be able to levy the toll on the crossing. And Furia may even be able to get the res here for Enigma Galaxy. It is not a good start. In third place, you don't want to be losing players early, not like this.
That was a huge shot there from Samplayzz with the DPS in the mid-range. Is able to get the knock. Very, very crucial. Instant thirst as well. So you can see Coops is going to be hunting down some high ground, trying to get the revenge for his teammate, but Ayala is climbing this up as well. Is Coops going to see him? He does! Ooh. He finds Silent slipping. Now he's going to go for the 1v2.
Uh-oh.
Got to watch out for that shotgun, though. Oh, that did tip him up a little bit. Coops so good in the CQC, though. Push it back and forth, finds the angles, and catches the 1v2 against Furia.
He baited out so many of the shotgun shells, forced the weapon swap. He knew he had a disadvantage against the shotgun there and was able to do a lot of work. This is vengeance coming through for Coops, and Furia left flagging. Unfortunate. Silence may be resable here as Chief sidles in to go for the res. There is another fight happening on your elimination feeds as well as Fourth Thrives clash with Team Flash on the south side. Fourth Thrives doing well. A nade over the top, and Coops goes for 3 now against Furia, who took one of their players down, but they are finding out what it feels like to be under the wrath of Coops. Turning his attention out now to the open sand dunes, but not going to quite connect on the first part of the spray down. Looks for more.
Ooh, headshot! Oh. Are you kidding me? That is Coops with the 1v4 against Furia.
Beautiful stuff coming on through from Coops. Furia needed to keep that one together. That was not looking tidy. Flash, in the meantime, have now been dragged down to 1 on the south side as Fourth Thrives are going to be the main benefactors of that, getting 3 elims. I think, yeah, they're the team that has taken down all 3 players so far from Flash. Aurora, a little bit further afield in those Picado Hills to the north side of it. They are not going to contest it just yet. So for Fourth Thrives, they now have to move in because we did see a fairly hard east shift on this zone.
Yeah, that eastern shift is going to definitely get these teams moving here pretty quickly. And yeah, Fourth Thrives, they are not in the zone just yet. They're right on the south side of San Martin. They're going to be just kind of making sure they get their vehicles going, choosing for the buggy. All right, they're all set up, and now going to find a spot in this next zone. As far as teams that are not here yet, you're going to be looking at Nosham Red Force. They're all the way down in Los Leones. They're still in the blue zone here, so they're going to be one of the teams pushing the latest into this circle. They are in 12th place right now with 21 points. But with this zone shift like this, it definitely buys you a lot of time here. So the most important thing is just rotating very carefully, not trying to get shot out of your vehicle. Play things very, very calculated. You can see Tianba already set up in these buildings near water treatment. And this is where they're going to park themselves for as long as possible.
Oh, yeah. You're just going to hold out for the time being. See if you can hold down on these houses. Just trading shots. Ooh.
Oh!
Crazy's found himself a big green gun.
That's my favorite. The AWM. I want to see some snipes, man. Nothing gets me more excited than see a crazy flick headshot to turn the game around. Let's see what Razy can do. He's got the 8x2. Let's see what this replay. Coops, pow, gets the knock on to Silence. Wins the clutch 1v1 here against Ayala. Look at the terrain usage from Coops here. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I was highlighting before, right? That shotgun bait coming through from Coops, peeking up so quickly and back down, dodging the shells coming through, and again, forcing that weapon swap. He knows that he's going to have the advantage, or at least be on a level playing field if he can do that. The nade on target, yeah, great. Furia just didn't seem to understand how to compete against this high ground position. I'm not too sure what more they could have done there. Maybe just not engaged on that spot to begin with. But yeah, it's a little unfriendly. Next circle comes on through, and that will take us back down towards San Martin on that south side. Keeps the hills to the southwest of water treatment. Hacienda all in play. And teams are going to start to crunch in onto the middle. This roadside to the southwest of water treatment is going to be tricky to navigate, and it looks like Tianba are going to try and do so, try and keep themselves alive. S2G find out just how tough it can be to move past this location.
Yeah, a smart play there from Tianba. They go ahead and move, and they take this gas station. They realize one of the players from S2G are isolated. Easy point lockdown. That's going to hurt S2G, leaving them with 3. That's an elimination for Tianba and a slightly better position as well. So this gas station is pretty solid if the zone shifts away from them. The most important thing, though, is protecting those vehicles. It's very weak to that hill behind them. So they're going to have to put them in some different spots just in case the zone does shift.
I mean, it is that road that they are sat right next to that is so difficult to cross right now for teams out on the northeast side, which is why you're seeing so many teams committing down to this southwest edge, right? To being a little bit more uncomfortable, a little bit too close for comfort, but you don't have that major blockage of trying to get across that open ground, which is going to be difficult for Vitality, unless they can find a big opener, crack the can open with that AWN, land that shot, and try and find that pick. Ooh.
Oh, that's
Aurora.
a huge one.
Aurora getting spotted. I think 4 Thrives are getting stuck into the fight. 4 Thrives, 4 players alive. Aurora having one of their players flushed away, and now Hazaifa close up into the fight. The pump action for Reapers, trying to hold the door, but the SK-12 has a couple more rounds behind it. And Ziol goes down quickly too, with 4 elims already on the card. Aurora gonna be contributing to the points tally for 4 Thrives fairly soon, it looks like. Doc goes down.
Wow.
The big boom through the window. And Aurora ain't got nothing in the face of 4 Thrives, who look to mark the start to their ascendancy.
And the crowd goes wild here in Paris, France. The 4 Thrives fans are chanting their name. This is what they want to see. And this ain't going to get just any squad here, folks. This is against Aurora, who has been crushing it here so far. So that's the 4th place team out. 4 Thrives in 6, now with 6 eliminations, looking really, really strong to start the day.
Oh yeah, that's exactly how you want to kick things off. But remember, as we said before, it is a marathon today. You can't allow yourself to get tired out. I mean, it's excellent when you find those moments, when you find those high octane, high adrenaline moments, but you cannot allow yourself to drop off after that. So I hope that they're going to have their heads screwed on tight so that they can keep their nerve for the rest of the day as well. And there is still much more of this match to play, so they have to get a lot further. And in this position that they are right now, against Nongshim Red Force, I feel like they potentially could have a good time, but they're going to have to shift northwest away from their current location, past San Martin, which is going to contain, I would say 2, I was going to say 2 teams, but it's 1 plus another player. Top's the last player alive for Flash. That was dealt with earlier by 4 Thrives themselves.
So, yeah, you can see Tops does get away from now. Now 4 Thrives, man. I'll tell you one thing. When it comes to the finals, I'm already feeling a different level of aggression here. Like, these teams are pushing immediately. The second they feel weakness, they're sending it. Now here comes Aura. We saw Sky get an elimination in the feed. We're going to keep an eye on this one, though. This is still outside of the circle, just to that bottom right side of San Martin.
Yeah, this is on board with the fight in the northwest now, as Horror are able to find Salme. They got that flush that they found the knock for earlier. And Godlike, they are now down to 3. S-Power, though, can just regroup over towards the rest of his team, and they should be fine out there. Horror can look to try and navigate their way forwards. I don't expect another fight between these 2 teams, maybe for the next minute or so. Oh, dear.
Oh, no, not like this.
That's a real bozo play right there coming through.
Yes.
That's Max Man's grenade of the day.
He almost got away with it too. You know what I'm saying? But our observer's just too good, right? Had to show the replay real quick, just in case you missed this, right? That is where it's at. Yeah, so unfortunate for Aurora. And it just goes, and I'm telling you folks, at this level, I mean, we got $500,000 for first place, and it's little mistakes like this that hurt, but we can see Razy with the AWM starting to put in some work.
Shouldering that can opener. Looks to try and split the seams of Tianba's hold on the longhouse, but we know what Tianba can do when they're holding down a longhouse, so we know what Milu can do at least. Vitality want to try and find it. The res comes through. Milu is low HP, but he can get some healing done. Razy is close by. Another stepping forwards, but staying on the rooftops here is bold from QZZ. It may just work with a nade. In response is Brutal, and another to follow it up over towards Aching. Now only 1 player in the longhouse. Milu looking to try and hold it down. With the Molotov burning, it's going to slow it out, but there's the off angle coming through from Axel. Where's the backup coming from Eagle? He's too far away to get involved here. The nade dribbles down the stairs. Might prove to be difficult to get past there. Does go down. And the res is still yet to come through. 3 players now for Vitality on the inside. Nade's cooking. Axel with a long one. Up to the top floor. May just blast them apart, but Eagle, he's just chilling. What is going on?
He's leaving it up to Milu, said, you got this, bro. Oh, I guess you don't got this, as Axel gets the nade onto him. So that is Tianba just getting picked apart here. And really unfortunate for them, but you know what? Vitality soaking up some good points.
I mean, the Eagle has flown away here. It is not what you want to see. I'm not entirely sure what he's trying to do. Maybe he wants to keep that forward position, but the rest of your team's dead, mate. You need to do something about that. Vitality were able to run through there. They got a really great opener with that AWM that we were talking about, the can opener on the position. And he was able to keep that momentum rolling with some big nades up to the top of the roof and a couple more positions beside. And Mino looking to stop the run out from Vitality, and they will have to run out with the circle shifting central.
Oh, and Mino's got this on lock. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to see a crazy shot here from Vitality to help this team out. I know that there is an AWM somewhere around there. And oh, nice shots there. They know exactly where he is. They say, oh, you think you have this down? Oh, that headshot though said, okay, how you like some of that? So, oh, that looks like it is Eagle going down. Oh, there's the AWM. Brazy's got it. Said, peek me. I dare you. I dare you to go over that rock. I told you! That is it! Brazy taking him out!
Boom! Takes him down from behind the rock. What a pickup coming through from the shot. At the end of the AWM barrel. Beautiful stuff. They baited him into thinking it was a rifle fight as well.
Yeah.
Little tickle trades, and then he was like, I'm going to win this trade surely. And then he's like, bam! You didn't expect that. Claps back, and immediately now Godlike down to 2 players alive. After losing one earlier to Horror on that northwest edge. Ooh, Tizzy, that's not good news. That's immediately flushed by 4 Thrives on the southeast.
Now we're gonna go ahead and see Vitality. That goes to show you, folks, the bolt action could change the game for you. And it works out here. AWM clutching it up. Now you can see the rest of Godlike just gonna have to hold those buildings for now. This is inside of the circle. Vitality, they know they have the numbers here though, so they're like, all right, there's gotta be a couple of players of Godlike somewhere. Can't just run into these buildings for free. Just trying to get a little bit of information. Mania, ooh, doing this little pre-fire shots onto some windows, looking to possibly catch somebody off guard. But here we go into the end game. Stage 5, circle starting to close. And this is an interesting one. I mean, we still have San Martin in play. A lot of open field though as well. You can see Aaron getting in some headshots onto So Easy, and now here comes Team Vitality on the push.
They're looking to roll around. 2 players now remain for Godlike. Federales leads the charge into the position. S-Power first to face. Molotov on the window, burns him down. Immediately toasts him. And now S-Power on the inside has more to say. The suppressor on the end of the SK-12 makes it quiet, but it's speaking loud with it. And he looks for more as well. 3 players fall at the feet of S-Power, and he looks for the flushes to keep it going. Manya will not be in this fight just yet as he drops for another flush, and in comes the backup. Manya.
He hit him with the Molotov, and now Razak is down to 1 HP,
and there they go!
S-Power with the 1v4!
Ascendancy coming through for Godlike on the north side. Vitality, they thought they'd taken enough out of them, but no! The gas in the tank, burning!
Let's get this going. Are you kidding me? Day 2 of the finals starting off hot here. Multiple 1v4s. S-Power at the end of the day yesterday said the domination begins, and now it has begun.
Unleashing that luxurious hair, sweeping it left and right with the shotgun shells ringing out in the ears of his enemies. Vitality have no idea what hit them. Milu, S-Power, these longhouse shotgun plays, I'm telling you, man, there's something special about it. I love to see it. I absolutely adore it. With 5 eliminations now in the game, Godlike looking to keep their march going, but they have to get across some open ground here. E-Arena will be fully aware of what has just occurred on their north side. They should know exactly what has unfolded, and crossing this open ground is going to be difficult. I imagine that it's more likely they may look to sweep to the east, get a little bit more coverage as they may try and approach Ulf or sweep through the remnants of other teams across the map.
Let's see how the rest of this match turns out. It's already been so hot here. Coops had a 1v4 earlier. They're sitting with 4 points on the edge of the circle. Satan, I believe, does have a position. Oh, I think this is still out of zone, so they're going to have to start pushing up here. Ooh, XEY in the blue, and this one hurts. This is stage 6. This one's going to start chunking you down. So he's going to go ahead and get himself healed up, and yeah, already getting shot. He's like, oh, I thought I was safe. Nope.
You thought. Yeah, you thought. Down he goes on that side. Ulf all too happy to pick up the point there. They're now on to 6 eliminations, and that will hopefully bolster them. Oh, he was going to find the shot onto S-Power as well. I mean, I said I was thinking they were going to wrap East. I didn't say thought it was going to be successful.
Yeah.
It's still a really tricky approach here. And down goes Manya. But they have left an impression on this match. Godlike can hold their heads high on their route out of this game.
Hey, it's plays like that that can be the difference, right? I mean, from a big jump in prize pool. So, I mean, Godlike losing players early, still put some good points on the board on the back of that 1v4. Looking on over to Enigma Galaxy, though. What are they going to do? They got their eyes set onto Ida. And it looks like Hoops does get caught, though, on the transition by Sky. But he should be able to get safe here in res. I like the fact that Rauf is starting to throw some util up on top just to buy his teammates some time. And they should be able to get the reset here.
I mean, that was a long-range assist coming through. Hodder on that north side, I think that's at least 300, if not 4, away. That's a really helpful hand over towards Ida to leave Enigma Galaxy on 2. Ralph now in position to potentially look for the res, suppress the run-outs here with those 2 nades lying in wait. Darkin mollying the corner. That's actually going to help
them.
The res coming through. So for Ida, they're keeping them on the outside, sure, but they're keeping themselves on the inside as well, which is going to allow Enigma Galaxy to get back to fighting form, and they're in the zone too. E-Arena versus Aura on the north side, though, that looks like it could get nasty soon.
Yeah, I think Ida are just kind of holding him out here because they realize the zone is coming and the edge of this might be outside of it, but let's see how the play ends up reading out. Satan throwing in some nades in there, trying to get that crucial first knock. Rita trying to make some plays. Oh, the off angle here from Ida is going to be huge. Let's see what he can do from that spot.
Could have been huger, but I think he just dropped the nade into the sand dune instead of throwing it over towards the opponents there. Not quite as efficacious as you need it to be. You can see on the picture-in-picture there's fights across the map. Horror really suffering against E-Arena as Enigma Galaxy still hold the stale over. Ida on the run out now, rolling around the edge. Henry goes down, and there is just a cacophony of shotgun shells blasting them back. A tide of lead sweeps them straight back in the door they ran out from.
I'm so shocked that they ran out like that. Let's see what Enigma Galaxy can do on this push, though. Darkin's up on top. Coops in the front line with the S12K. That's the weapon you want in the CQC. The best close quarters combat gun in the game. Now let's see what Ralph can do. Everybody shotguns out. Oh, nice play there from Ida, catching some little angles there, peppering up the side of Ralph. These guys are level 3'd out of their minds, though, right now.
Oh, goodness me. There's the off angle. I think that's E-Arena taking shots across the way, because, of course, E-Arena did clean up the fight with Horror just a moment ago as well. Hot Jukes on that northern side. They got some really big openers with a couple of nades on board, and were able to convert.
Oh, the bounce!
What a bank on the nade there from Coops, and now just one player on the top floor, and the shotguns are going to continue to put the pressure down, but there is still a little bit more left to fight as Enigma Galaxy are taking shots from across the way. They get rid of Ida, but now Ulf step into their shoes, take down one Turkish team, another one's here to play.
Hello, catch is right there waiting for you. Aaron's gonna have to turn around though, throw a smoke down, trying to be able to get up Solus. Enigma Galaxy though, great start, 8 eliminations so far. Ulf have 9 though. They're looking to put themselves up on the leaderboards here. But hey, E-Arena's gonna have something to say about that. They're gonna go ahead and start throwing some util onto the side of Ulf. Ulf are gonna have to decide where is the biggest threat here, and it's gotta be E-Arena. Scarface, thinking about trying to pick up his teammate, but E-Arena's right there.
Oh man, this position is really annoying for Ulf. If they could have gotten rid of Enigma Galaxy, it would be so much more free and easy for them. They could take control of that whole dune all the way out to their west side, but with Coops and Ralph still in action, they are penned in here. Solus bleeding out, and E-Arena can start to establish that chokehold on them.
Oh, vehicle coming on up. Here come the mollies too. Aaron's on fire. Not able to make it happen here. Scarface on the other side is getting peppered as well. He's going to throw some util, but Ulf just getting picked apart. E-Arena.
Big.
Oh, those nades, huge. That's going to pepper up Mormon real good. And it opens up the door for Enigma Galaxy as well.
They're moving across the open ground, and they do fall. Ulf cannot weather the storm. Again, it's that position from Enigma Galaxy, the prevention of them sweeping out to the west that really came back to bite them here. Tourniquet layering down some more smoke cover now, and Enigma Galaxy with a 2 versus 4. Well, Coops can do it on his own, right? So what's Ralph even doing here? He's not needed.
Yeah, he's just there for moral support at this point, right? Let's see what he can do. But hey, you know what? You could never count out the IGL. That is Rauf. He's already still got that anger built inside him, that fire, all the way from Aaron Gale Pachinki. Looking how quiet here.
Ooh.
Coops with the headshots. Gets peppered up a little bit, though, in the process. The thing is that these guys are out of position big time. It's going to take a miracle for Enigma Galaxy to do it. But we saw 1v4 before. We could see it here again for the 3rd time in this game.
That would be pretty insane. That would probably be the most 1v4s we've ever seen in a single match of competitive PUBG Mobile at this level. They've got about a minute before the zone closes fully on that stage 9 zone. And they just have a sliver of it on the edge of that open concrete slab. They are just in, but that's not going to be comfortable.
Oh, look at this flyby right here. I mean, E-Arena doing a 2-2 split. Now, if for some reason Coops can get 2 of these players, now, okay, yeah, Schweppes is going to move on over, play that mid-range. I like that. You know, just better safe than sorry. Use your numbers advantage, use the blue zone, and E-Arena should have this locked down.
Yeah, they're playing this very, very safe. E-Arena looking to try and convert from the top of the tables to a chicken dinner at the start of today. It would be so incredible for them to open that kind of a lead. And again, we've talked about it before, Schweppes, the only player here with a chance to get the 3rd title of PMWC champion. The only player in the world with that opportunity.
Oh, here come E-Arena. They're going to go on the push, where they're going to get aggressive. They take down Coops. It's just Rauf, and that is it. E-Arena get the first chicken dinner here today. They're hyped up. They're excited. And they were on top of the leaderboards here, so that's going to push them even further beyond.
And they played that north side well. They rotated through. They weren't over-aggressive. I liked that regroup off the 2-2 because, as you said, if you get one of those miracle picks, all of a sudden, one of those angles is basically gone because you have to stick that res. You have to try and keep your numbers advantage. Then there's some negotiation that can happen. Regroup is 4. There's nothing that Enigma Galaxy can do. The flex out, I think, was probably okay, but was pretty bold, and I liked it. I liked it towards the end there. For E-Arena, they should be happy to kick things off today with a chicken dinner, but we've seen them do that before. We've seen them do that before in record-breaking fashion. I do not want a repeat of what happened for the rest of that day. They did not keep that pace, and it is, again, that marathon today. So for E-Arena, a brilliant start to push them even further at the top of the tables, and free and clear of a lot of players keeping up to them right now. For the time being, of course, with a lot more matches to play, there's still the capacity to close that gap, but yeah, very, very happy with that opener. It felt controlled as well, in a way that I think that the big rondo that they had didn't quite feel like it was as much their agency, even though they were proactive and they were doing things. This felt like it was much more E-Arena's victory.
Yeah, I mean, the Thai squad coming in so hot here off the rip. They're looking strong. And let's see if they can continue that dominance here in a bit.
up, guys? It's Barney Banks here. I'm backstage with Njang Smith. He is one of our co-streamers here at PMWC. We're going to have a very quick chat ahead of day 2 of the PMWC finals. Njang, let's talk first and foremost about Paris. How's the experience been here at EWC? PMWC's been absolutely crazy so far. So give us some insight about, what your experience has been like so far.
Jadi gimana perasaan kamu tentunya tentang Paris sendiri dan juga tentang Pmwc yang selama ini udah gila banget gitu sudah berjalan.
Terima kasih pertama-tama buat pihak EWC dan PMWC telah menyelenggarakan turnamen ini. Saya sangat mengapresiasi dan berterima kasih karena telah diundang ke sini dan saya sangat senang dan vibes-nya di sini sangat-sangat real, nyata, memang benar-benar keren banget.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for EWC and PMWC for inviting me here. It's been a very surreal experience and it's a very real experience as well. And it's just gonna go on and on and on.
It's great to have you here. Now we can see that obviously you are supporting Team Vitality while you're here. The boys from Indonesia are performing really well on the main stage. Tell us a bit about the boys and how they're getting on and how do you think they're gonna do here at PMWC in the finals?
Tentunya kan kamu di sini datang sebagai pendukung Vitality juga. Gimana pendapatmu tentang tim Vitality yang sudah bertanding di PMWC ini? Terus habis itu juga gimana harapan kamu kepada tim Vitality?
Harapan saya untuk tim Vitality, terakhir Indonesia mengangkat Piala Dunia di 2019. Semoga di 2026 ini bisa kembali mengangkat Piala Dunia kembali. Dan saya mensupport Vitality sangat-sangat dengan keras, dengan antusias yang besar bersama dengan viewer saya di live streaming. Bahkan mereka sudah meramaikan stiker-stiker Bigetron dan Vitality di kolom komentar. Mereka full support buat Vitality hari ini.
Of course, the last time that Indonesia wins the World Cup is back in 2019, and now 2026. I can only hope that they can win it again, and I can only also wish the best for them. I will give them my full support. As of course, also the viewers in the chat and the live stream also they give their full support now, and we will hope for the best for Vitality.
How have the chat been since you've been here? How has the experience been while you've been co-streaming right here with the event going on behind you? What's the chat been like? How has the streaming experience been for you here on the main stage?
Jadi gimana pengalaman kamu tentang live streaming di Paris di EWC ini? Begitu pula juga dengan apa sih vibes chatnya dari selama ini yang bertanding dan juga pengalaman kamu juga live stream di sini?
Pertama-tama mungkin dari peralatannya ya kok, karena peralatannya di sini benar-benar bagus, benar-benar disupport banget. Saya senang banget bisa difasilitasi buat bisa jadi co-stream di sini. Dan untuk viewers di live chat, mereka semua senang karena melihat peralatan yang proper ada di sini.
First of all, I just want to say this is like the best equipment I have ever found. This is like a full equipment that I never even used myself. So it's just like a very surreal experience so far. Yeah.
Well, Njang, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here at EWC. PMWC has 2 more days of competition and we can't wait to see you on your co-stream popping off. So thank you so much for joining us in this interview. Enjoy the rest of your experience here and we'll check back in with you on Sunday. Back to you guys.
ไม่ออกติดกูขับหลังสมองนะติดขวาตัวเดียวที่เหลืออีกตัวนึงน่าอยู่ซ้ายไม่จอดนะมีเคก็มีตาสุดอ่ะตัวเดียวตรงนั้นตัวเดียวจอดให้ผมดิแต่ก็เจนเกอร์ลึกกันเราเกอร์ลองได้คิวป่ะตัวท้ายอ่ะได้หมดเลย
E-Arena coming in hot, wanting to maintain that first place. And boy, what a start for this team here in day 2, even though we're going to be playing some matches from day 1. Still, E-Arena, this is what we've been wanting to see, especially when you teased us with the 29 eliminations.
Yeah, I was like, we cannot afford to see a flash in the pan kind of performance from E-Arena, but man, they delivered. I will say, the reason why they won is some teams doing some mistakes, right? We'll dive into it a little bit deeper here with Natura, but man, E-Arena putting up the 10 placement points from that chicken dinner, 10 eliminations on top of that. They were already number 1.
Yeah.
And now they're creating a gap. Yes. Hey, it seems like this tournament might be the chase after the White Rabbits.
Absolutely. You've got Enigma Galaxy coming in here. They were in 3rd place coming into the first game here, so they've done a bit to extend that gap a little bit more. But you've got Ulf, you've got 4 Thrives. Those kinds of teams, they're also bringing some heat to the game here, Lace.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are going on about still this first 29 match. Did you guys have eyes yesterday? Arena, have been performing the entire time. This ain't even their first chicken dinner. They have actually had so much progression through every single match. It's been amazing to watch. Yeah, we're going to revert back to that, that huge statement they made in the group stages, but their consistency has been king.
Yeah, and for Pmwc, it's all about that because this man has been performing. He actually baited Furia into rushing him after they were able to eliminate Lord, and Coops was able to handle them all by himself.
He got the revenge he was looking for. I mean, Coops, you know that we were missing him during PMGO Season 1, and he's been putting up the numbers, but look at this. Let's quickly go through that 1v4 scenario. During this entire fight, Coops is on the mountain, uncontested, and this is not a position you should be willing to push. I feel like this is a big fumble from Furia. This is not a fight you should be even willing or even thinking about taking. And Coops here, having the time, going to flush the elimination, denying extra information from Furia. But this grenade, one of the best grenades of the tournament, a Maxman grenade of the day, as he gets that 1v2 and then sprays him down from a distance. He gets the headshot, eliminates the final player. What an insane clutch, but so did S-Power, Niptura.
Didn't he just? I mean, I wanted to replay this because look at what he's able to do here. This guy is a machine. The angles, the quick flicks.
Oh!
He's using these angles. He gets that one. He realizes that Razak is coming around, gets that elimination, and then he knows he doesn't have time to heal up, so he throws the Molotov in there, tries to come out, tries to get these angles going, and that is just buys enough time for his teammate to come on in.
Yeah.
The Molotov will go forward. It's fantastic.
I gotta say, that Molotov he put to try and clear his backside, that was one of the best Molotov. That is a global level Molotov coming out from S-Power. He is showing he has what it takes to be up here.
Absolutely. I love what we're seeing from him today.
I love what we're seeing out of him today as well. I love what we were seeing out of 4Thrives in this last match. 4Thrives being very aggressive, especially with being able to chase some of the other teams. Talking about chasing too. We got a chance to see Pmwc versus Ida towards the end as well. It doesn't matter, Max, and Lace and Aptura, if it's Pochinki, it doesn't matter where it's at. Pmwc has their number, but when we're talking about some of the other teams, 4Thrives versus Aurora.
Yes.
We gotta mention that because it was so quick, and then Doc with them.
We're not going to talk about Auroras. We're not going to talk about it.
I'll talk about 4Thrives though. Look, they had such an immense sort of split hold in the hillside while Aurora was sort of making their rotate, and it was only a matter of time before they were able to do that. And what we were obviously touching on yesterday is their pacing. So obviously when they get that first contention and then following up with the fight, their pacing is back to what we want to see. So it's very, very impressive that they were able to do that. Unfortunately, they did have IQ at the southern side trying to find a position in zone whilst that contention was going on. Nongshim Red Force was sort of running up the eastern side, so they kind of like fell a little bit short there trying to move in because there wasn't much cover for them to sort of progress through that. And I mean, then it was just down to, a little solo, and unfortunately he was found out because Top actually was sitting on top of a building, and that's probably the best spot and the only spot that could have been played.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very, very, very happy with 4Thrives. T24 especially coming in clutch there. He's back on that long range with the Mini. He's back supporting his teammates really, really well. And the whole squad is just looking very, very different from yesterday into today. They're looking very confident. They look like they know what they're doing. They have those final decision-making skills back and at them. And here we see him, 6th place, coming in clutch here.
That's right. 4Thrives being able to jump up that leaderboard with 33 points. But E-Arena with the win starting to create that gap, Max. And this is something that we're going to have to keep a close eye on what kind of gap we're going to be seeing from 1st place to 2nd place and the rest of the teams.
I'm really happy with the Arena, right? Of course, you're looking at the consistency. You remove their 2 chicken dinners, their non-games. Like, they're a little bit low on the placement point side of things, but you know what? You can still get 2 chicken dinners over the course of, what is that, 5 games? That's an insane win ratio. So it kind of takes out of the equation the consistency when you get these big wins. But though, going on to the 2nd page, one team I really want to highlight here, Niptura, is Hora. I feel like this should have been at least bare minimum a podium finish.
Yes.
But the moment E-Arena just slightly started pushing up on the mountain, they crumble and they give the high ground position for free. I think Hora really threw that game.
They're not the only ones. Ulf did the exact same thing. They did the exact same thing here. And hopefully they don't do it again.
Hora threw that game, but I did like the aggressiveness that we got a chance to see out of Hora, and I'm hoping that it's going to continue on here. Let's see what's going to be happening on the 2nd Miramar, because it's getting spicy here. Hot Jukes. John, take it away.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. The aggression is going to be at an all-time high here. We're already seeing multiple 1v4s to start us off here. And I think we're just getting started. A whole bunch of matches left to go. My Jukes next to the legendary John Allen. One game down and a whole bunch more to go.
Oh yeah, we've got our second Miramar today, of which we're going to be treated to 4 Miramars over the course of today. We're going to end on 12 matches played total of our 18-match set. We're going to set that smash boundary. A lot to play for today. And if the arena can continue to perform in the way that they are, that smash boundary is going to be so far away from everybody else. Yeah. It's not even going to be worth thinking about.
And that is what they're going to be doing. You heard Max say it earlier. Everyone's going to be chasing the White Rabbit here in this tournament. You can see the fans are so hyped, excited. Beauty aside of things, pumped up, waiting for them to start making something happen. Unfortunately, they got taken out by Coops in that one. It is what it is, but a bounce back is imminent. That's for sure. First place, $500,000. Second place, $250,000. So a lot of money is on the line here, folks. Now let's see which team is going to push themselves and try to catch Irina.
It's not just about that cold, hard cash. It's about that warm feeling in your heart when you realize you are the new champions here at the PMWC, at the EWC. For 2026, there's no team here to defend that title, right? Alpha 7. Don't know where they've gone. They must have gone home or something, you know, so, something like that. Yangon Galacticos also not making it to these finals, but it's time for another team to sit on that throne, to sit atop the rest.
Let's
get things going.
Yeah, let's see which team it's going to be here. Southern playing path here on this one.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're mixing things up for sure. And this is going to be that second Miramar match. So after this one, if it wasn't hot already, we're going to Toronto, right?
Oh,
so that's going to be a crazy change of pace. Top players so far, you can see Milu right there, 3,000 damage. What a day this guy had yesterday, man. Everything considered, this guy is an absolute monster. And let's just see where Tianbo will end up. All these teams, so many big names, so many top squads. Enigma Galaxy, honestly, I really want to give this squad so much props. I mean, to be in second place, considering that these guys dealt with so many hot drops, is pretty insane.
Yeah, over on Erangel, it certainly was the main feature of their early games. Fortunately for them, though, Ida didn't do anything other than just sort of give points to them, it seemed like. So it was kind of only really one map where 4Thrives actually third-partied it in that hot drop, where Enigma Galaxy didn't actually have a pretty okay start to their Erangels, right? So for me, it's definitely Ida that needs to move today, but we'll be seeing that later on. And they have been able to profit quite nicely. I mean, you get those 4 points right at the start of the match. That's a good profit already.
Yeah.
Right? I was talking about how I want to see consistency across a lot of games, across the whole set, rather than just these big pop-offs once or twice over the course of it. And that's exactly what you want, right? If you're able to get 4 points, it's not unlikely you can get 1 or 2 more, and that is a massive boon to your point scoring tally. That's what Enigma Galaxy have been able to find.
Yeah, and again, fortunately for them, it works out with the fact that A7's not here. They're taking El Bozo, which is one of the highest loot areas, if not the highest, in this map. So they're going to be very, very well kitted. They've made some great plays this tournament so far. And yeah, you know, we were talking about them in Erangel. Ida did feed them, essentially, but you still got to beat them. You know what I'm saying? And it's not easy to win a hot drop and keep everybody up. And they're able to do it time and time again, but Irina catching out IQ 4Thrives. That's a huge loss for them.
Oh, that is nasty. Not a good opener, and a pretty great opener for Irina. Put themselves now on 69 points total.
Nice.
And they get a free buggy delivery. What more could you ask for? Unfortunate there for 4Thrives to be losing a player like that. That's a little bit careless, I think, in my book. Should have been a little bit more aware of the surroundings, but not to be. Irina causing problems already this match.
Man, Irina making it happen. Looking on over to 4Thrives saying "Kapkun krap," that means thank you in Thai.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Very, very happy so far. 69 points on top of leaderboards. and only just beginning. That smash point threshold is going to be where it's at. So if your Irina have just they continue to have such a fortuitous day today, their goal should be to just set that point threshold so dang high that nobody can possibly smash in the final day. Now, so far in the history, we've seen one team smash at an international event. That's going to be Nongshim Red Force, and that was just earlier this year at the PUBG Mobile Macau Invitational. It was, I believe, Furia that was on top with the most points, but Nongshim Red Force won that final game just by the skin of their teeth, and that automatically made them the champs. So
yeah, I think it was a 1 point. They were 1 point behind the leaders as well, so
yeah,
they needed to win via smash. It wasn't just a case of winning the game. So a really nice ending for them there, but that's that fairy tale not really converting over to Paris, unfortunately, for Nongshim Red Force. At the moment, they're in 9th place. Still very much doable, but they have got a little bit of a way to go on that one.
yes, they do. They gotta make sure that they just stay secure in the end game here. Can't afford any slip-ups at all. Gotta be able to make some plays. Man, that 1v4 earlier from S-Power was so dang hype. They're still having a rough day of it so far, though. 13th place. We haven't even reached the halfway point of this tourney, though, so they still got plenty of time to bounce back. But if they want to win this thing, they've already kind of burned through the bad games that they can already afford. They really need to start putting up some good, solid, consistent points here. Because when you see E-Arena on top, that's a major threat. I mean, we've seen this team earlier in this tournament break a PUBG Mobile record for the most points. Again, so silly that they didn't make it into that into the finals off of it.
Well,
but they got some little extra, survival cash, I guess.
Yeah, sure. But that's the point, right? It's a huge, massive, incredible game. Wow, brilliant, bright lights and billboards, sure. But then they weren't able to do much after that. So it was a big fall off coming through from the arena, and to that end, they didn't deserve to make it straight to the grand final through that. So to be able to come through survivals, fantastic. Okay, now they've started to really up that game, keep that momentum going. This is a much better scenario, which is kind of why what I was alluding to before is I prefer this chicken dinner that we just saw from Irina to the one that we saw in Rondo in terms of quality, in terms of an indicator for what we might expect for the rest of this phase.
Yeah, and we got to be honest too. I mean, these guys very luckily made it here into the finals. They were barely able to pass up the Wolves.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, to see them barely make it in, at least I think it gives a lot of relief, right? Because for all the Wolves fans out there, they're like, we were so close.
Yeah.
But for E-Arena to actually pop off, it's like, okay, you know what? The team that made it deserved it, right? Like, they're actually doing something here. And if they were at the bottom of the leaderboards, it'd be like, kind of a waste. But they're not messing around. I think that the way this tournament fared for them so far was kind of a perfect storm, right? Because they had the record, don't make it. They barely make it here, and I think that really just lit a fire in them to be like, you know what? We got to just play our game. Let's go full-fledged aggro. And that's what's happening, because they are just pushing team after team after team as a full squad and just picking them apart little by little.
A lot of teams will unravel under that kind of pressure. Need to keep your mind thinking forwards. We saw some monumental plays in that last game, so
yeah,
I'm hoping that the nerves aren't going to be too rattled for a couple of our squads. It's going to be difficult, not only on the losing side of those fights, but again, on the winning side of those fights. Because in those scenarios, that adrenaline just hits your system. And it can end up, once it drains out after the end of the game, that can be a real detriment to your performance. And that's when you need to rely on the rest of your team, on the advice of your coach, on the feeling of comfort, hopefully, that you can find with the rest of it, to be able to absorb the impact of falling from that great height.
Yeah. And okay. Well, speaking of height, right? The zone goes all the way up to the tippy top here.
Going back.
Yeah, near Crater Fields, near the Hacienda del Patron area. We just saw this circle not too long ago in the last match. So teams are going to be trying to take a similar spot to what they had here. Arena, like, yeah, why don't we go to that same spot we were at last time? We won from there. We'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit further west. It does keep a lot of those Crater Fields areas in, but it is very similar, you're right, in terms of that location. Aurora spotting a player from Furia, but Coops will not stop in just one game. He's going to find shots onto them again. I feel like they should definitely be aware of his location this time around, but losing a player, you know, for Furia, that's not a good feeling. That is not a good feeling.
Yeah, that's Miramar for you. It's tough. I mean, you're trying to rotate, and losing players on rotation is a rite of passage here. You try to avoid it as much as possible, but just sometimes there can be that one guy there waiting for you. You can see Godlike getting peppered up from Lost. And all these players just ridiculously good at shooting people out of vehicles. And Jiggle, Aura, I heard the crowd pop off. Jiggle ends up taking out quick from Aula.
I mean, they did it last time very early on. This time it's taking them a couple more minutes, but same start to unfold. Aura have managed to transition down towards that south and look to control the really sharp high ground that sits to the east of Crater Fields and overlooks a lot to that south side. So a powerful position for them to hold if they can maintain it. A little crash between Flash over on the east side and Vitality. That very quickly concludes with one casualty. Win trying to get some revenge, but not really connecting as Razak bumbles over the top, but doesn't eat damage either.
There goes Vitality, rotating away. They've taken that elimination and run with it. Federalis driving outside of the zone here, maybe looking for another vehicle. Seems that's what they have their eyes on here. No fear, popping out the buggy though. Going to be putting some pressure onto Aurora. They're on the rotation and they're going to get caught out by Ulf. No Fear's going to push up a little bit closer here. Scarface through the nade into the building, catches out top, and that is Aurora getting picked apart here in match number 2.
Only one player now left standing. I do not think Doc is going to get the backup. He is over 500, probably about 700 meters away from them right now in the shadow of Nigma Galaxy on the west side. You just can't move. This is an easy set of flushes coming through. Ulf have got this roadside compound. They got quite a decent amount of cover. It's Horror who sit on their northwest across the road, up on that high ground. So for them, for Ulf, I'm feeling like they're fairly safe. This next circle might put more pressure on them, but being as central as they are, it's unlikely.
Yeah, they're sitting pretty. They don't pretty much have to move very much at all. And yeah, they don't have to move at all here with this next circle. Vitality, though, over there by water treatment, are going to have to push on in. Nongshim Red Force on the south side are going to have to get into some battles here very, very shortly. And that's just because Nongshim always land on that southern end. So a northern circle like this makes them late to the circle. We'll see what their decision-making is here as Tianba looking to put themselves in a slightly more central position as Sleepy gets a nice knock there on Aaron.
S2G are also pushing in from this northeast side. Aaron down, allows Tianba to move in. Eagle and Milu in with the same vehicle, but there's a beautiful spray down. What a response coming through from Solus, holding in the face of the push. QZ wants to try and turn it around, but Solus has more left in the ammunition. Wow! We'll find a third. Looking for now the last player of Tianba. QZ with the M249 is being hunted. Ketch steps into the fight as well to assist his teammate, but there is still more to do. QZ won't go down, but he finally falls, and Solus stands in the face of Tianba, says not today.
Not today, indeed, as Ulf with a beautiful stiff arm onto Tianba. And oh, you can see the pressure is on. You can see the player catch relieved after that one. What a play from Solus, though, to be able to shut him down.
There you go. Tian bounced out of that compound. It was not to be. I mean, what a lineup there. A little bit wayward on the crash. It felt discoordinated between the two players in the vehicle. Not quite what you want to see from Tianba. I don't want to say lazy. I feel like it was being harried by Horror with the off angles there on the northwest side. S2G were putting pressure on the back of that, and it became a little bit too chaotic. They couldn't quite find their way through it. There was no way that they could navigate that storm, unfortunately. But for Solus, that is a monumental clip farm. Not quite a 1v4, Jukes, but it was pretty damn close.
That's as close to a 1v4 as it gets here, folks. I'm telling you, big plays coming out of here in the finals. Axel getting naded up pretty good, peppered by Al-Ula. This is with the replay here. Soulless with these headshots. Taking out that duo. And still finding himself some good movement here. Yeah, as soon as he sees QGZ, comes on out, pops a nade on accident, and gets the knock.
Oh, okay,
What
we're
a
back
play.
in with Alola versus Vitality. One over the top, looking for another as well. There are 3 players alive on side for Alola, but there is damage pouring back over towards Vitality as Razy now and Axel have to step into the fight to try and keep this one going. Razak gets shut down though as S2G are flowing out to third party on the north side here. Kamikaze, Solke, both moving into position. Lost is out on a north wide flank too.
And Axel trying to find some high ground here, trying to find an off angle. Razy just forced to just run out in the open, no vehicle to his name. Trying to be able to help out Federalis. Federalis is knocked, and it looks like he will be thirsted here because this is taking a long time. Meanwhile, S2G decided to just back things up. Say, you know what, we don't want none of this. This zone going down south. Let's prioritize that instead. And Razy is going to start cresting that hill. Can he spot out one of these players of Al-Ula? He sees Rep. When he's going to take that shot? No, does not see a good sight line. Decides to back on up.
Yeah, it doesn't have the team shots to be going, well, doesn't have a team to take shots with. Is more accurate here for Razy. You need to be 100% sure that you can lock down a knock or maybe even a flush. Ida getting rolled down by Orangutan there. Nicely done, but there's still a little bit more to do. Ida being devastated yet again. Rita now the last to stand. Aru and Atanki about face for another approach. Rita cooking a nade to try and slow things down, but there's an off angle coming through from Arena, who is stepping up and forcing him over the ridgeline into the firing line of Orangutan, who get 4 elims on the game and send Ida packing.
There we go, and that's going to be the 15th place team so far. Starting to turn things up, but here we go. It's the White Rabbits battling it out against 4 Thrives. Turney K getting the flushes. It's all up to Falak, and it ain't going to be good enough. Arena just putting in that work, and they're going to keep their whole team alive.
And back up they get. Nicely done, nicely done. We saw Razy doing a lot of work against Alola. Hang on a minute. This is a solo? A solo against Alola on the north side? Where did that come from? Razy's popping off on the north as a solo.
3 eliminations. Razy putting the points here for Team Vitality. The Indo squad looking good here as they're going to be pushing into this next zone. And we're looking at this next circle as it is just south of Crater Fields. You got OG on that southern end right next to Arena. That battle should happen out any soon. And now you got Enigma Galaxy right next to Nongshim Red Force as well. Let's see how they're going to play this out. Coop's got that Mini 14 looking for that long-range headshot.
I'm also looking at S2G on the northeast side of the circle right now, Jukes. They have to push in, and as a 4, do you go in the shadow of Aura, or do you try and sweep down and push past Flash? But it is a difficult approach for S2G, and they do not have long to make that choice. I feel like they are committed much more up to the north edge and could potentially challenge Horror on that northern side.
Let's see how this is going to play out. Schwepp's got the high ground as well. This is still only stage 4 here, folks. Admino does get knocked, though, from Godlike and flushed. So it's only going to be 2 players up for the side of Godlike. OG in the same boat with the duo. Driving around, just trying to get a little bit of intel. Dawkins nearby. You got to watch out for that. Meanwhile, Aura from the high ground are trying to catch S2G out on the rotate here. Sleepy is able to put some suppressive fire, keep him away for now. Kamikaze's buggy is smoking, and he's gonna get popped out of here by No Fear.
Oh, that is a scary sight, cresting the ridgeline, No Fear. Spiking the heart rate of S2G as they try and make their way in. They did have to make that choice in the end. But moving in, they've managed to get 3 through. And into a position which is at least tenable, but not really super beneficial to their long-term prospects. In the circle, though, which is good. Not the same can be said for Enigma Galaxy, Arena, Flash, Ulf. These teams going to have to move when the time comes. So, a good result, but if they keep getting picked apart with Razy still doing bits. Hang on a minute, no, that was over the sky. So, Horror are suffering. This solo Lone Ranger on the north edge, Vitality, letting us know. Okay, this is the replay of the 1v, I think 3.
Yeah, there we go. Yasser catches him out as he pops out the vehicle. And then, pow, beautiful use of that ridgeline. Razy just picking apart Aula. Those mistakes, man, making it look easy there.
Yeah, that was pretty clean. Swaps out to the bayonet as well for the final moment. I wanted him to run it through there a little bit. That would have been the coolest. But you know what? You're looking pretty cool already. Razy still with a knife fixed at the end of the barrel.
Yes, indeed. Let's see what Razy can do with it. He's going to be holding on to that AUG as well. No Fear up on top of the hill, doing a good job of applying that suppressive fire on these teams trying to find a way into this next zone. Oh, Razy soaking up the points as a solo here for Team Vitality.
I mean, since he's been a solo, he's gotten 4 eliminations. He's weakened Horror's hold on this northern side as well,
yeah,
which I think is a really big factor here. With 4 players, Horror are basically unable. With 3, that's a different conundrum altogether. Ulf could potentially have an opening road towards them if they don't go down in this spot, because Sleepy has got that angle. But if Sleepy gets knocked, if he gets spotted, an opening road towards them if they don't go. Sleepy has got that angle, but if Sleepy has got that angle, but Sleepy has got that angle, but if Sleepy gets knocked, sneaky like, it's Razy on the side with his ghillie suit. Trying to play it quiet, trying to play it smart, finding these angles.
Shh, Razy. Playing it very, very quiet. Finds a little spot to hold himself in for now. He's also so dangerous. He's got that ghillie suit. In the desert. Not quite the best camouflage he wants.
Yeah, it's the green one. Not great.
It's the green one. But you know what? He's looking to get that green for his team. And this is how you do it right here. Staying alive. Right here. Staying alive. Just, you know, able to get some confirmations, some sneaky confirmations on some knots. Meanwhile, S2G got a little car wall set up here.
Oh, Furia on the move. Silence up and to the ridgeline. Jiggle will be aware of it. Razy completely hidden from Furia's radar right now. Operative word being right now.
Right now, and yeah, look at this, silence. Gonna have to be silent here, but Razy, he knows something's up. He's waiting for someone to peek that hill, waiting for someone to make the move. But instead, he's just gonna stay very, very quiet here. Uh-oh.
Up they go.
Jiggle, you better watch out. They're coming for you. Silence, driving up the hill little by little.
I think Razy's going to get spotted here. Igor is going to run straight into it, potentially. Oh, maybe not. Darts back a little bit. They're waiting for the peaks. Negotiation on the north side is tense. S2G isolated right now on the southeast side of all of this, sort of all just playing in the same spot. Looks like they're trying to start to move out now, which I like. I think it's the right decision. And we've got solos from Aurora, solos from Ulf, as well as Orangutan. Atanki may be the first of those to go down, but does take a fair chunk out of Lost before he goes out.
Put some damage on the board. S2G looking to clean this up here. They definitely need to win. They're in 12th place. Win will definitely put them in a good position here for the rest of the day. Furia, the same boat. Let's see who's going to take this chicken dinner, though. Aura rocking a 2-1 split with Jiggle on the absolute high ground here. Don't forget about Doc, though. Aurora all by himself. He's still there. You can see him. He is just holding that spot and starting to soak up some placement points here. Only 6 teams remaining.
The thing for Aura right now is that they know there's a solo on the north side, which gives them a little minor advantage if there's going to be a third-party fight between them and Furia. Raze's angle might not be known. S2G take a shot from Eren, who is their solo from Ulf. And Eren finds the flush as well. So S2G now down to 2 players. Jukes, there's a lot of solos here, but they aren't without their opportunity.
Yeah, that's for sure. They could win this whole thing if the timing ends up perfect for them. You can see nice shots there from No Fear. Oh, instant confirmation too. MSG's really hurt.
Thought he's going to throw the pan there.
Yeah,
no.
that would have been nice.
Pulls
to
the
say,
pin on the nade.
Take some of this. How about some of that? Long nade. Not able to get the finish. And it looks like S2G should be able to get the reses here. Does he have a Molotov for another nade? Because, I mean, he has the high ground. He might have the arm to get there.
It doesn't look like they're going to go for it. The res likely to be coming through now. For S2G to keep themselves alive as 2 players. It's Raze that I've got my eyes on still. From Vitality, he's gone so far. Come such a distance. Eren, most likely the next solo to fall. Igor's has flexed out and is very close to Doc for Furia. That could be a dangerous spot if they're caught unawares. Oh, he's hopped out as well. Doc might just be able to get away with a free elim here. There's a nade in his hand. This is not where you want to be for Igor's. If he doesn't hear this pin, if he doesn't get out of the way, this might just be a free knock, but he's into the vehicle again. And I think he's read into it. He's up into the wall now. Doc has to hold his little shack out in the open.
Silence and Furia just waiting for this fight to happen. These guys are going to wait up to the last second here. The zone is closing. Okay, Jiggle backing things up, and he goes right into Raze. Gonna have to make a play. Great headshots, but Sleepy, great teamwork there to be able to shut him down.
It felt like that was the opportunity there. Jiggle stalling on the buggy slip, but just didn't quite finish off that spray. And the backup from Horror, of course, they did know he was there. As I was saying earlier, after losing a player to him was good news. Oh, another solo goes down. That will be the final solo out. So we are playing 3v3v2 as Furia in with a chance here to put that chicken dinner on the board. Same story for all 3 of our teams. I feel like S2G are the most suppressed in their area right now.
Yeah, but they're suppressed on the leaderboards too, right? So literally all these teams desperately need this game. Gonna be big points regardless. You can see right now, 8th place, 11th place, 12th place. It's gonna help them out big time. Let's see what No Fear can do with that high ground. This is stage 8, folks. The zone will be closing into nothing once that zone pops. Sleepy applying that pressure on S2G. He's got the intel now, knows exactly where they're at. He's got a couple nades. Gonna go ahead and use that high ground to try and get the shots. But some big shots on the Aura. That's No Fear eliminated. That angle being gone is critical.
A really nice pick up there over onto the high ground, as well as Jiggle going down. Leaves Aura now just on the 1 player alive. Furia want to regroup, and the descent comes through from the last remaining player for Horror, Sleepy, who has broadside on Lost, but he's not taking the shots just yet. I think Lost spotted him just before he ducked behind the ridge. And he has to drop down a little bit further to be a bit safer. Spots Lost, gets a headshot, but doesn't quite get that full-blown knock just yet. And then they roll.
Sleepy.
He finds the other, though. He finds his teammate, and maybe a 1 versus 2. But Fury are now sat with their players rolling across the open zone. And Sleepy finds another. 3 players now left for him to deal with. But there's a P90 outside. He's behind those trees. I don't think it's going to work. No, sirree. Brazil able to find the chicken dinner here. And Furia fight back.
It's about time. We knew that chicken dinner was only gonna take a little while, and it happened to be just 2 matches here into day number 2. So Furia get the win, and the crowd is pumped up for their team here. A huge, huge win for the side of Brazil.
Absolutely beautiful stuff. I think it was 9 elims towards the end, something in that region. It's a massive jump for them, as we talked about, on these longer game sets. 18 matches, a game like that can really give you the foundation that you need to jump up to be in contest. With E-Arena going down fairly early, with Enigma Galaxy going down fairly early, a couple of elims on side for these teams, but that is going to put a dent in the gap, and that's exactly what you need to be doing. Keeping that mindset on side of every single game, the points we profit, that is 1 step closer to the title.
That's exactly what it is right there. Nice play, though, from Sleepy to be able to get that 1v2 on S2G. Gets a couple more points on the board and some extra placement points as well. But you know what? The board is going to be, the leaderboard going to be balanced out a little bit right now because, like you mentioned, top teams go out. Teams in that mid-pack start moving their way up. But I think that inequality is going to be coming right back, because guess where we're headed now?
Oh yeah, it's going to be a little bit toasty over on Rondo next, which is very, very exciting stuff. We've already seen, what was it, 2 1v4s, at least 1 1v3,
yeah,
a couple more. Why not throw them in there? It's basically just what happens at this stage. But yeah, I mean, the Razy solo 1v3 on the north side there, beautiful. The impact he had also cannot be ignored. If 4 players were alive for Horror in those final circles, I think they win that.
Yeah.
Without Razy having that impact, it completely changes the dynamic. It allows Furia to be so much more free and easy on that western side. The suppressive force of Horror on that north edge is so much assuaged. So I think that is a very, very important part of that last game that maybe flew under the radar for a couple of people.
Yeah, you got to be hyped up for Razy. 1v3, then finish in with a 1v2. And you guys got a 1v1 and watch the rest of these matches coming up in just a bit.
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion.
Chasing the sunrise, boots hit the ground, hear the battle call. Loot up, lock in, we're ready for it all. Every street, every door, searching for a little more. One squad, one dream, nothing's ever what it seems. The circle's closing in, can you feel it on your skin? Heartbeat like the drum, the final fight has come. Fight till you make it, never gonna break it. Stand your ground and take it, right into the fire. Fight till you make it, every move can change it. Higher and higher, we're reaching for the winner, winner, chicken dinner. Fight till you make it, fight till you make it.
What's happening, everybody? Jackie Powers here, joined by 2 absolute legends of the Sidemen. We got Ethan and Toby in the building, just arrived in France. You enjoying your time at PMWC here at EWC, boys?
Absolutely. It's my 3rd year on the trot coming to this. So yeah, really excited to see what today's got on offer. First time here in France, so actually really excited.
What, just generally first time?
No, not generally, but this in France. Normally it's like in Saudi, but here in France, exciting.
You enjoying it though? Getting on with the vibes? Bit different, right?
Yeah, we got in early on the train this morning, so took a little bit of waking up, but I think we're into the swing of things now.
You always look fresh, both you do. You've come out giving it. You got the style on the go, so I can't complain, boys. And there you go.
You're showing us up. Yeah, can we get a fit check, please? Fit check. Great.
Hey, look,
you look unreal.
The
turtleneck, he looks amazing. The watch strap, look. Wow.
That's what we do. That's what we do at PUBG Mobile. We've got a bit of a different vibe on the go. I know you love a bit of PUBG Mobile yourself, but you've been enjoying the chicken dinners? Caught any of the glimpses of the
I haven't
games?
caught any glimpses just yet, but they're going crazy as we speak. We've got a little glimpse of a screen up there, and I can't wait to watch some of it.
It's going to be big. I think we've had a lot of interaction from the fans this event, which has been cool. A lot of different nations, so it's been super loud. We've had drummers, we've had like cymbals. Mate, I've seen instruments I've never seen before.
I thought it was a football game. I heard it. It was crazy. I can't believe there's drums at an esports event. It's unreal.
They've kind of been getting sick with it too. One of our commentator talent basically used to be a drummer.
Oh,
so he's
okay.
been sat there every game, mate. He's watching in the background. I just want to get involved. I want to teach him a new
He's
beat.
loving it. He's loving it.
You any good on the instruments yourself, pal?
Me, no. So Jizzle, however, he has a producer back in his day, you know. I dabble.
Hey, we got to get you in there. We could cook something spicy up with the fans, right?
No. It's been a long time. It's been a long
EWC
time.
anthem? Come on.
I don't quite have the same rhythm as I used to, you know what I
It
mean?
could be a nice tie-in. We'll get that in for the next charity match, no?
Maybe.
That's what I'm saying. That would be sick. Look, it's going to be a good time. We got about, all of today, so about 6 games overall today, and then tomorrow we go into the finals, last 6 games. We got some big orgs here, boys. Couple big names. You got like 4 Thrives. They're coming out, showing up. Vitality, legendary esports orgs, right? Orangutan as well. They've come in bossing it.
Orangutans.
Orangutan all the way.
Come on, orangutans. Listen, this ginger bearded beast.
My orangutan.
Yeah, come on. Go on, the orangutans.
Oh, mate. I hope they do you justice.
Yeah,
They've been looking good, honestly.
Have
They've
to
been
now,
looking
have
good.
to.
So we're saying orangutan
Go
chicken dinners all the way.
orangutans. Let's go.
All right, let's see what happens, boys. Always a pleasure.
Pleasure,
Any
mate.
final words before we send this one back?
Up the EWC, up the PUBG Mobile. Bosh.
We'll see you later, guys.
Thank you, Jackie. And I agree, Jackie. You look good today. You look good every single day. And so do we. Joined by Lace, Kalaris, Natura, and once again, the 7WG. But we got to talk about Furia, that last match. The Brazilian aggressiveness was there, and boy, did they show it.
Didn't they just? I'm so excited. Furia's back. Let's all jump. No, but he's just gone. Okay, my show now. Furia, right? Furia was on top of it. I really, really enjoyed how they were actually able to play that so well, right? You've got the duo of Ayala. There we go, I got it.
Yeah.
Ayala and Silence, both of them just coming in onto that third party against Nongshim, then over onto EA, just wiped them completely, no point about it. The 2-2 split coming up onto the western side, making sure that Furia couldn't, making sure that S2G couldn't go around to the south side, but also pressuring Hora to actually push into S2G at the same time. Very, very well played. Good control of the teams, good control of the zone, and the timing was really good. They backed it up with firepower as well. You're seeing 9 eliminations. 19-point game is exactly what they needed.
I just absolutely love the fact that they sort of, like you were saying, they had that sort of western side of the mountain. Hora had such a great setup though, right?
Yes.
So I was getting a little bit scared in the I guess final moments because that zone closing in pushes them off the mountain. But Highguard's just down there scouting for the entire team, able to get that little 1v1 out of the way, and then having that sight so that when they obviously descent down the mountain, Sleepy comes down the mountain further through this and just cleans it up easily. Their timing today, Neptura, why aren't we Furia fans? Just backing you up. That was just such a smooth play from them, and when we're used to just seeing them get in a vehicle, charge down, whatever, this is more strategic and smart from them. Very exciting.
I was scared for Furia, though. I thought we were going to see some drive-bys that we ended up seeing from them yesterday that ended up backfiring. But for Hora Esports, I got to give them even more prop scale because they had a 3-1 split on that mountain that ended up working out perfect, especially when the circle didn't go their way.
There's multiple facets to it, right? Hora, when it comes to them controlling that kind of mountain, La Cabrera is somewhere they oftentimes go to. They've actually abandoned that and gone to Valdemar on most of these Miramars. They had to abandon their loot phase quite early to make that extreme wide rotate based on those circle shifts that were going north to get onto that mountain fast. And I think they really understood how to hold down on that location well, to the point where they were having to deal with certain circumstances that they didn't want to have to, like trying to cordon off Ulf as they're trying to move forwards as well. So an very impressive game here by Hora, absolutely.
It is. S2G as well, being able to collect some points in this last match too. And one team that was able to collect even more points that definitely needs them, Orangutan. collecting 7 eliminations. It's something that we've been wanting to see out of this squad, being able to frag out a little bit more. I know yesterday we saw the passiveness out of OG that we're so used to seeing, but being able to just bounce back. And it's actually not Aru by himself. It's Atanki coming out with 3 eliminations.
I mean, it's great. I mean, I think in the group stage, we saw more from WizGod than from Atanki, but he's coming in really, really nice. Ara, the IGL, also stepping up as a fragger as well, which is really, really nice to see. So very excited to see, very excited to see what we're going to be looking at into the next Rondo, for instance, right? Getting the that momentum on the Miramar is like 7 eliminations on a Miramar already. What's Rondo going to be holding in store for them?
Feels weird that we're doing Rondo, not at the start of the day.
It does, doesn't it?
But anyway.
It's like, okay, well, mid-day.
Mid-Rondo.
Mid-Rondo. It's a mid-Rondo.
You know what it reminds me? I said it earlier and I'll say it again. It reminds me when we used to have Sandhog at the halfway point.
Oh, yeah.
Where teams that weren't performing well, that would kind of use Sandhog to just spark up their day. But talking about Rondo, let's look at the top teams right now from Rondo. You got Enigma Galaxy up there. Aurora Gaming so far really hasn't had the best start to the day, especially when we're looking at the Miramars. But going into Rondo, we saw what they were able to do yesterday, and I'm hoping that Aurora is going to be bouncing back here.
Yeah, you'd like to think so, right? I actually do think that there's definitely been lulls in some of the performances internationally as well, and obviously this team for a long time, when we were that alpha gaming, etc., and things like that, everyone was hoping that eventually they'd hit it big, eventually be able to get one of those big titles. Actually, coming into that day one, I thought to myself, wait a minute, is this the time? Is this the time Aurora Gaming actually finally makes it happen? Because they were able to be up towards the top. They've slipped a little bit, especially with the arena looking as well as they have done so far. But mate, there's still a chance. There's still hope.
Yeah, for Aurora right now, 34-point gap. So I am hoping that we're going to be seeing some insane gameplay out of them, especially going into Rondo. We have seen E-Arena put up 29 eliminations. Can anybody get even close? We saw the aggressiveness out of Furia with the third parties too, but we got to talk about Enigma Galaxy been performing well as well. And what I really enjoy about Enigma Galaxy so far is the way that they've been getting those placement points outside of their win. You can see them being able to be consistent.
Exactly. They've got 14 placement points outside of that win. So they are really making sure they hit that podium time and time again, backing it up with eliminations. And again, this is something that I saw yesterday from Enigma Galaxy is their timing is on point. Koops is back in his prime, it feels like, and the whole team is rallying around that. So the timing is really good. The synergy is very good. They're holding, they're waiting, they're making other teams play for them instead of doing all the dirty work themselves. It's a really, really nice control play that we're seeing from Enigma, and it's working out beautifully.
I mean, I just want to quickly touch on Ulf because we were a little bit worried about them at the start. We're like, what kind of plan do they have going forward? It's good, it's wins, it's that, it's not, it's dropping. That one, the vehicle sent. They're actually in like a 2-2 split hold, and they were like, what do we do? Let's take the vehicle, let's wedge Tiamba up against that and able to sort of decimate that entire squad. Obviously the rest of the team sort of joined in that position, but look, they're making split decisions quickly when that moment comes. Is it bad that these decisions have to be made incredibly quickly because they didn't plan it out beforehand? A little bit, but look, they can capitalize on it.
It is. One team that I'm going to be looking to hopefully capitalize here in Rondo as well when we're talking about eliminations is going to be none other than Tiamba. Tiamba has been quite slow today. We've seen them just going down that ranking, and it's a team that needs to be able to bounce back because guess what? Yesterday, it was all about eliminations. Yes, they do end up having some placement points, but it wasn't of the likes that we know they're capable, especially with what we saw to Survival.
Yeah, Milu and QZZ have looked fantastic throughout the entire tournament, right? And Milu really rose to the occasion after QZZ was able to get that MVP title on previous internationals. I do think that, yeah, it's been a bit of a slow start for them, but regardless of that fact, there's definitely an opportunity for them to get back to fragging power, fragging potential that we've seen from them in the past.
I'm just looking at Koops right now. He's locked in. Raouf just going around, circling his chair. Satan as well. But Koops, it's all about Koops right now. Hopefully somebody else will be able to step it up from that team as we're going to be going into Rondo. So Hot Jukes, John Allen, take it away. Where's Satan looking at?
Here we go. We're headed into Rondo. The match to put some massive points on the board. As if Miramar wasn't crazy enough already, it's about to get even crazier.
Maybe it's just something about the start of the day, Jukes. Maybe it wasn't Rondo all along. It was just the first games. Maybe this will be the calmest Rondo we've ever seen.
They brought that Rondo energy off the rip, right?
Yeah, they're used to it. Fresh off the breakfast, ready to find their dinner. And that is what we're going to be looking to find here for one of our teams. It will be the case maybe a massive early game. We saw it from Milu yesterday, huge, and the rest of Tianba as well. Huge start to the day yesterday. Not quite as powerful in the game so far today. So hopefully for Tianba, they can find that resurgence here. And if you're an Arena fan, you hope that they can continue to make their strides forwards and keep that White Rabbit chase going.
Got to be able to separate yourself from the rest of this lobby, and if you're going to do it anywhere, it's Rondo, that's for sure. I mean, we've seen a 39-point game in this tournament. Oh man, will that turn things around from. Look at Team Vitality though, averaging, 4.33 elims per game, 1,000 damage. It's a great average here. The thing is if you want to win that $500,000 at first place, become the champions, you got to do something special consistently. So I'm interested to see, right, how these teams are going to fare now that we're playing Rondo for the third match of the day, right? Are they going to be able to keep that aggression up throughout the entire day here? And who's going to be the kings of Neox Factory?
Oh, could be. Or indeed somewhere else if Flamepath decides that we don't want to be going to Neox Factory. In general, when you're talking about podium competitors, you're talking about teams who are looking to get about 10 points average. 10 to 12 points average tends to be where we see at the end of these game sets a first place type scoreline being. That generally is a great indicator that you're performing at the level that's needed to rise above the rest. So hopefully our teams will be able to keep that on side. And being able to get, as we were seeing, sort of mid-4 elims average, being able to complement that with placement points is very, very important. There are a couple, I think, of teams who have a distinctly higher average on those elims than others, but it is definitely something we need to be focusing on to join up at that 10-point average. Because right now, I think quite a lot of our teams are falling short of that metric.
That's a fact here.
And if you want to be able to get in that metric, though, this is the place to do it. You can see these players are locked in, they're focused. They understand what's at stake here, just how important Rondo is for your total tally. We only play it 3 times in this whole finals here. And this being the second one.
6.3.
Yeah, 6.3 average from Tianba, man. This squad have been really consistent here. A night and day difference from their group stage performance. And this is the Tianba that we know and love. We expected them to do very well here. And it's only a matter of time. I think they get that right position going, and then we see them get that chicken dinner.
I mean, we want that survival stage, Tianba, right?
Yeah.
To be able to jump up and compete with the very best. Furia, fresh off of their chicken dinner, their numbers don't quite display that sort of a storyline just yet, but it is a great start for them to be able to add that one to their tally. And again, it's a real great mental boon to these teams to be able to find a high-scoring game and to be able to close out that game. Sure, maybe the point swing isn't huge depending on how many seconds into those final circles you last, but I feel like there is nothing more relieving than finding that chicken dinner, than converting it. Even if you ignore the 4 extra points you get just on placements alone, it is a massive mental fortitude booster. And you need to keep your head on straight because you are going to get into something crazy very early on. I know it, I love it, it's Rondo and it's ready.
It's ready, these players are hyped up, they're ready to go. I hope y'all guys at home are ready as well because man, this is just getting started. As the plane is taking off, we're headed to Rondo.
Ooh.
Okay, we got a little double plane path action here.
Okay, so Neox Factory is accessible from the easternmost plane path, and to be fair, from the west one, but it's unlikely you want to go there because the teams in the east plane will hit the ground so much faster than you. It's much more likely if you're going to hot drop, you go to Yulin, and the same is true vice versa, right? Yulin is further along that plane path. What this is going to do is split these hot drops up. It's going to make them slightly less chaotic, Jukes, but more teams may want to go for them because of that.
Yeah, and those teams that normally like to go to Neox Factory, if you're in that other plane, you're going to be there late, so that's going to put you so far behind. So teams are going to have to adapt on the fly, switch drop locations, and make these decisions very quickly here. And you can see, these squads are out. Top players right now. Scarface from Ulf, okay, 16 eliminations. Mormon right behind him, and of course, Milu right there as well.
Yeah, Scarface on those damage numbers as well, right on the heels of Milu. Look at that, only 20 damage points behind. We'll see if that changes very quickly into this match because teams are now starting to touch down in towards Neox Factory. They'll be grabbing those weapons. Yulin also will now be occupied, and things are going to get hairy quite quickly. As Irina already taking a knock, Tianba as well have already lost one. Irina, by the way, generally preferring to drop out near Stadium, but the plane path they're on didn't assist with that. We saw them hunting down solos in other matches, those solo outposts that are near those recall towers, which are a major feature in Rondo. They were the team to take that dynamically to that fight in a way that we haven't seen from many others. Oh no, S-Power goes down to a guard.
Not good. Schwepp's hurt and gonna get caught by a beautiful angle from a cop. And that's what happens is that if you're just so used to dropping in one particular area, switching it up here, sometimes those little angles can catch you off guard. And OG putting in the work here. Gonna be keeping an eye there on the side of Pull. Ooh, does see Aaron. Now we're gonna switch on over to another fight. Here comes Furia. Applying that pressure to Aura. Sky bandaging here. Waiting to be able to find those angles. He's got some good weapons here, but Ayala gets caught.
A nade forces Sky to reposition away from the corner. Does take a little bit of damage, but that'll be okay. Remember, the recall towers here in Rondo allow teams to get their players back up and alive, so early fights are the norm. Silence rolling around the edge of this corner, trying to suppress Sleepy, but the UMP in hand gives him a little bit of confidence and the nade to back it up. Flings across his sightlines. No Fear does go down on a trade, and now Ayala's looking to break wide to change the tune of this fight, and looks for more with Chief at his back. Sky on a sliver of HP just about finds the reach, but there's a re-engage around the corner.
Chief would have had that, but he ran out of ammunition. Now he's going to have to make a play. Ayala there with the assist, and great work for the side of Furia. They're going to go ahead and take out Aura, put some early points on the board, and they should be able to pick up Silence here. Now they're going to start laser focusing towards the side of Four Thrives. Four Thrives creeping in on this one. A little late to this third party, and now they're going to have to battle a pretty kitted and well set up Furia.
Four Thrives, they got some loot on side as well, though not too many nades. In fact, no nades for T24. Neox Factory's been popping off as well. I think Ulf bore the brunt of a lot of damage pouring on their way. See some elims coming through from Orangutan. But, ooh, okay, Ulf may have a little bit of vengeance here, as Eren is still in the firefight. Tianba with their position on the south edge. Spot Tizzy sending away, but Tizzy wants to re-engage on the door frame. It's not going to work out well for the first spray, but suppresses the angle. QZZ with the nade cooking. Drops around the corner, but Hyunbin evades the damage.
Oh shit, Red for super aggression here. Looking to get some of them early eliminations. Hyunbin with a laydown. Right down the open! Catches QZZ with the spray. Just keeps that suppressive fire on that window, catches him on the re-peek, and a great turnaround there. Two superstars battling it out. Now Tizzy, oh, look at that instant peek back. These angles, Yongshin Red Force so good at these CQC angles, man, and Hyunbin putting in the work, forcing Tianba to have to do a full res on their team.
Getting those flushes nice and quickly. Yongshin Red Force with 2 elims. They're up to 4 now. But they've got another team to try and deal with. Orangutan sidling on into the fight. Tizzy using the bus's cover. There's a nade from a tanky, but the pin goes back in. And Eren, the solo left in the situation for Ulf, is going to find the backline for Orangutan and slow their approach towards his Nongshim outpost. The 2 players they've got there can just live a little bit longer, but a tanky keeps the pressure up, and Orangutan keep marching.
Man, great movement from the side of Tizzy and Hyunbin. They are outplaying so many of these players here. So good at this urban fighting. Their peaks, their timing, just impeccable. Wizgot, though, with that nade, looks good. Tizzy jumps away and gets peppered only a little bit. Pulls the pin again. And you can see they're utilizing those doors so well. But how about that nade? That one looks good.
Ooh.
Tizzy jumps away from it once again. He's not falling for that one.
I like the attempted utilization of the smoke to stop the vision on the nade arc as it was coming on through. But Tizzy read that one nicely. Knew exactly what they were going for. That nade doesn't connect either. Still has a couple more. The shotgun around the corner. Steps in for it. Wins the trade. And immediately Eren snaffles that point away for Ulf. He's up to 3 elims there on the inside. This guy's doing bits. The rest of Ulf are happy to hang out near Danqing on that south side and let Eren roar over in Neox Factory, because it still has yet to conclude. Aurora, I think, still have a solo in that spot as well. And Eren does finally go down to Godlike, who have rolled up into the fight in Neox Factory. A late approach as they were forced away over towards main round.
Now you can see T24 trying to find some angles here. Zypha, ooh, quick shotgun here. He's got the right-hand priority. He should win this. He does. Catches Ayala. And now, shots happening back and forth all over the place here. But Zypha's gonna have to make another play, but suppressive fire. Was that IQ? Yeah, IQ on the other angle, doing a great job of applying that pressure, that headshot. It's gonna be the end of Furia.
Furia, though, well, in this location.
That's correct, yes.
Igor's on that south side, very far away from Yulin right now, means that they can get that full reset. The recall towers are still available, and at the moment, only one player is completely down. I think that's about to change as well, as Admino gets back to his feet. Aurora with top. The man on the spot only needs the one shot to take down Salme, and now he wants more. S-Power with the nade, can't quite connect on towards top, but he spots him running up, has the nade cooking. This could be perfect, needs it over the top, a lot of damage, and the spray to convert. That is good for Godlike.
Great work from S-Power there, right? Just staying calm, collected. He had that nade locked and loaded, just goes, chunks it, and just uses his weapon to take down top. So we're going to see some recall action happening. Everybody pretty much back up for the most part. Only a few players still eliminated. And now you know what? Why don't you guys do us a favor? Get in game and go ahead and pop some of the lucky spins right now. Hopefully you can get one of those exclusive 2026 PMWC tournament sets. So you can be styling and looking good like a lot of these players are. Let's see how S-Power is going to look, though, in this 1v1 against a Tiki. It is India on India action here. That's that Molotov. Oh, yeah. He's like, all right, I'll hold the stairs for a little longer.
Hot footing it away from that, doesn't take a tickle, which is good result. Hard southeast shift on this next circle. Pushes us down towards the southeast side. Keeps that northern area above Hungshan in the west of Danqing as well. Ulf, very happy about this. I think their hill there is probably going to play quite well for them, I think, Jukes, and that is a great result for them, given that they're in third place right now. Irina in first place. They haven't had an impact on this game so far. They were pushed away very, very quickly. Possess Power holds the corner, but yeah, there's a third-party angle. Well, a second player on the opposing team angle coming on through. That should be, again, still recallable. Manya may opt to go for the recall on the forward position so that he can bolster that and let the back two from Godlike move in behind him.
Yeah, S-Power's like, 1v1 me, bro. And they're like, nah, not today. There's money on the line here. We got to make this happen. Now looking on over the rest of the fight, though, we got Vitality end up holding a building here. They're going to be popping some shots on over to Enigma Galaxy. Satan trying to drive away, trying to be able to survive here. Lowered in the same position. Enigma Galaxy on the bold rotation. And Satan does end up getting caught and eliminated.
Very messy now on the western side of this circle. A lot of teams forced into a fight that is unfavorable for a rotation that leaves them exposed. We're seeing the results of that now. The recall tower on the south side of the circle, currently under control of Nongshim Red Force. Looks like Godlike may have their forward position on one recall as well, I believe. So they could look for that. Actually, it might be Arena who have got control of it out on the east side. In the meantime, 4 Thrives, with their 3 elims so far, have a position near Yulin.
You can see these teams just starting to get set up here, getting ready for that late game. This is so critical. This is the map to put some points on the board. OG have 5 eliminations. Aurora have 5 as well. So a great start for a few of these teams. Now it's about how you're going to end. I think the Galaxy down Satan on that rotate. They do end up finding a spot in this next zone. Pretty central one too, just a little bit on the southern side of it. But we never know where this next circle is going to go.
I mean, Ulf really have got a brilliant position here. They've had a while to establish it as well. On the hilltop that they have so much control over the surrounding area. They have vision every single direction. Everybody else just trying to play in their shadow at the moment. Irina have managed to push in from the east side. And 4 Thrives continuing their hold on the southeast point of Yulin. doing a little bit against Alula. Godlike suffering once more at the hands of Orangutan. And E-Arena actually pushing up to try and third-party split that fight on the north edge and maybe hound down Godlike.
Godlike trying to hold on here. Southern shift. Yeah, indeed for a lot of these teams. S2G, Fourth Rise, E-Arena, not liking that one. Now there's Godlike. But Fudia, they'll take that all day long. Possibly even looking for a back-to-back chicken dinner here. As Aurora, though, that's going to be the team they're going to have to fight because Aurora's going to be pressing into that hard shift side location. Tianba, QZZ knocked. Doing a great job of being able to throw down those smokes very, very quickly here to try to pick up their superstar.
It's moving forwards. A lot of recalls coming on through. Almost everyone in the lobby getting back to their feet. Damage going over towards S2G from Coop, but not quite fully connecting.
He's locked in today, man. I mean, those shots were on point. He was hitting them for the little slight angle that he had. He was getting serious value. You know, Tianba's locked in as well. They're just trying to get themselves in a good, solid position. They're in fourth place, 48 points. Not a bad start. But E-Arena with 75. They're the big threat in this lobby. The Thai squad looking really solid here in the Rondo. One elimination, the whole team up. They do have a position on the eastern side of the circle. Aurora right on top of them, though. Let's see what they decide to do here.
I mean, they are certainly alive on this side of the circle, but between Aurora and Ulf, it is a difficult position to try and hold down. And can they get much further forwards? I'm not entirely sure, Schweppes. Oh dear, the flames already licking the front of the bonnet there. And that is going to be an unhealthy vehicle. Not really too reliable when it comes to moving next. But they are safe for the time being next to these two teams. I'm looking at Orangutan and Fourth Rise on that north side. Could be a contest around the mountain that sits between them. Godlike, I think, are going to have a difficult time moving in as well. Either they could swing out into the blue zone very, very quickly now and try and rejoin Rita. But if you do, you're basically committing to going down in the next zone.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work out.
Yeah, for sure. And Ida need to have a monster rondo here if they want to be able to get themselves into serious money. Enigma Galaxy, meanwhile, second place, down a player. Lord going to be using some of that terraforming to put himself into a safe position. This is still super early. I mean, that's just Rondo. The Rondo starts off so aggressive, starts to slow down here in the mid-game as teams solidify their locations. And then it's going to get red hot here in just a minute. Let's see where this circle goes. We're going to see a crazy Southern hard shift again. Will it center up? That's going to be huge for these teams. And it does favor the south side a little bit.
Okay, I mean, for Aura, this is great news for them. Their west side is fairly free and clear. Ida do opt to regroup on the south side, which I'm not entirely sure about. I feel like that may be a misplay for them. A very difficult approach from that angle. S2G trying to make the approach that is probably in Ida's future. Finding out how difficult it can be. Furia extracting a toll for it. But they do crash in. They do get to the center of this one. And actually, may be able to get control of this recall tower that's available for about another minute or so. If they can get control of it, get that recall in fast, they could be in with a full force squad on this location. And I think they know the Jiggle's here, but they don't have a lot of time to play around with. It's really ticking away, and the bounce on the nade's not good.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a self-nade there. I don't know if you saw that chain link fence at the top of it. Great nades, though, from Nongshim Red Force. Oh, it doesn't hit the mark, though. I thought that was good. And they're going to be sharing this location for now with E-Arena. And this is pretty darn central. So I'm surprised they're really battling this out. This is a dangerous fight, honestly. Like, if they take this fight, they're going to get third party.
I mean, all the fights now in the middle are dangerous. Godlike on the south side.
What happened?
Ooh, I think a vehicle explosion there came on through.
Was
Took
that?
Tandy K down. No, it wasn't a self-drop, don't worry. I would have clocked that one. It was an explosion that came through. The nade, just falls short of the deployable cover. And they continue to not quite find the mark for Enigma Galaxy, sorry, for Nongshim Red Force. They aren't quite connecting here. Not quite getting what they want to get done. Orangutan try and crash into the middle against S2G. It's looking to go pretty well for Orangutan, actually, as S2G are going to go down fully. These recall towers are pretty much done and dusted. Only a couple more seconds to get them used.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to be able to use it here at this late stage, especially if you already burned a lot of your recalls earlier on. And let's see right now as Ray-Z is able to get a nice knock there on the tops with a nade. Another one in return as Bose catches Federales. And now here comes Win in the vehicle. Possibly just trying to get some information. He gets some for sure. Pops out. Oh, that did sting.
Okay.
Razak, though, got the shotgun. S12K. Oh, gets knocked. And Team Flash put in the work here on Vitality.
Hey, we know what Razy can do, but he's not going to do it this time around. Vitality go down. Flash playing on with 3. The recall towers are now shut down, which means that every elim will stick. There are no recalls available. The Arena somehow managed to get straight to the center of this circle. Is kind of crazy, and to do so with 4 players alive, great news. Hopefully they can make that one work. Meanwhile, on the south side, you've got Godlike, Ita, and Furia all looking for position. Yeah, this is a replay, I think, on how Tony K went down.
Yeah,
he ran into the buggy. He ran into the buggy.
Yeah, well, it was that cover flare that ended up busting up that buggy, and it was just inching it little by little and just did enough damage to pop it. So you gotta watch out where you drop those cover flares.
Hey, no harm, no foul. They're all alive, and that's what matters right now. Nade over the top, over towards Enigma Galaxy, though, from Tianba, who have had to fight down from this north side of their compound. Enigma Galaxy have been hiding here for quite a while, and Tianba seemed to be an overwhelming force for them. Ralph, alone, isolated, away from the rest of the team. Ulf have been trying to push in from the east side, and somehow Scarface doesn't go down here. Finally does get knocked to QZZ. There is an answer, a little bit of damage, and his 4 Thrives chiming in for a third party from the west side.
QZZ getting caught out by Ulf. And now Milo getting shot in his back from 4 Thrives. Yamba now are fully pinched. You got 4 Thrives looking at one side, Ulf looking on the other, and this is all outside of the circle. Disaster here for Tianba, who are looking so strong in this game. Gonna have to fight their way out of this position.
A lot of movement now necessary on the northeast side as well as on this south edge, and this is what I was worried about for Ida. They managed to get a couple of elims on the angle, but they trapped themselves behind the water. Wrapping around that one, it takes so much wind out of your sails. You just don't continue that speed. You don't carry any momentum in towards the circle. And they found out all about it. Furia were a roadblock for them, and they may have dragged Furia down with them, but for Emre, he's now got so much to do, and he's going to crash probably straight onto Aura, and almost certainly going to go down here. I'm so surprised he hasn't already fallen, and Emre just sneaking his way through.
Tianba on the drive-in now. Gonna have to force to just fully send it onto the middle, but they are getting beat up here. Sacrificing players one by one. Milu, oh, with a bad drive. And now it's up to the single player. Oh, he does end up catching 1 point. So Tianba hold on just for a little while longer.
Staying alive, staying in the thick of things. The Arena unlikely to be able to push fully up and over with Ulf suppressing this angle. Aking can survive for just a while longer. And Ulf are going to have a tough time actually pushing towards this one with the suppressive fire coming in, but Aking does go down. That actually comes from Furia. Very long shot down from the south side. Close to max range, I believe.
Furia.
393 meters there, Ayala.
Ayala and Furia are putting in work here. 10 points on the board so far. Right behind him is OG with 8. They definitely needed those points. And here comes Furia, pressing in through the south side, moving in little by little. Making sure that there ain't nobody near him.
Aurora with the western high ground as well, this mountain, giving them a lot to work with. The position held previously by Aura, but they decided to commit instead much more central onto the west point of the compound that sits central on this circle.
It's gonna be a big game for
Aurora this position. I mean, it absolutely could be. Given their position with 8 elims, they've got some brilliant oversight. Not too many teams have the flexibility to challenge them. It is, of course, the Kiss Curse position, though, because you do have to leave it at some point. Well, almost certainly you're going to have to leave it at some point, and that is where things start to get a little bit muddy.
If this zone shifts to Aurora, they're getting like 20 points this game. Plus. I mean, this is the spot to have. But it is quite on the edge here. Let's see if they end up getting lucky. This is the time to get lucky in the map that you really want to get lucky on, that's for sure. But meanwhile, Nongshim Red Force catching Chief out from Furia.
Sneaking it. A shot in around the sides of those silos, through the fences. It is pretty resible, though, for Furia, I imagine. The circle does move away from Aurora, though, and up towards the north side. This is a lot of open ground that maybe Forthrise could try and leverage, but there's not a lot for them to try and work with. You could see just sweeping out to the west, it's wide open. You're going to need those cover flares, so it depends how many they've got in the back pocket. Create some of your own defilades with that destructible terrain. It's what they're going to be needing to do to control that north side. In the meantime, Furia still giving it large on the south side.
Doc starting to throw some nades in. They know they got to get moving here. They got those vehicles. They're smoking, though. Bose does go down. That's huge for the side of Aurora. And Doc trying to drive very carefully, little by little. Oh, saw that crate. I need that. I need that. I got 300 rounds. I need more. I need that util. And he's going to find at least another drink because he was out. Swaps vehicles, and now Aurora just trying to leapfrog into this next zone.
Last player of Orangutan goes down in the meantime. IQ gets spotted out in the open. I mean, this is what I was talking about, right? It's such a difficult area to try and move into. The question is timing, and for IQ, he gets caught a little bit too early. And there's really no cover. But it is such a majority on the circle. If you can establish any sort of position out there, you start to get so much control. And with Aurora still able to use the high ground that they've been playing from, they have great sightlines to control that. But Forthrise will be able to move in. Aurora are also going to have to move. Oh, beg your pardon. Have to move.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, though. This is Rondo, and if you don't got cover, you got to make your own. Use those cover flares. Use that terraforming and make it happen. You can see Ulf with a good, solid position that they've created for themselves. You got Aura on the other end trying to sneak some eliminations. No Fear going to be laying down, trying to see if he can catch that pixel. He sees him. He sees him. Put some shots, but not able to get the knock.
Aurora rotating back in towards the compound, looking to extract more point value from these elims. Tourniquet will be spotted. Zjol rattles him down. And the rest of the team answering with a volley of fire. Emre, by the way, from Ida, still alive. A solo who managed to sneak his way on through. I imagine Aurora should be aware of this position. But we'll see if they deal with it or if they allow him to sit there in their buffer zone.
Zjol just getting set up here. I like how he risks it and moved that vehicle just a little bit further so he can cover himself from that angle. The crowd is hyped. They're excited. The Furia fans are going nuts. They see their team with 11 eliminations so far. And there goes Aurora starting to throw some nades. They are in this next circle, so they're just holding the spot for now.
Just holding it down. Slowly marching forwards. Nongshim Red Force making it very difficult for them to move up and through this compound. If they can get a knock, if they can open a way, might be an opportunity for them. There's trades back and forth across every single angle. Nongshim also have spots on towards Horror, who are trying to make their way up on the western edge. Oh, it's a nasty ascent up this hill. There is a complete broadside from Hyunbin. He's got that DP, a lot of ammo in the tank, and a big north shift comes through.
The circle goes up to the top and away from all of these teams. So all of them are gonna have to start moving. Hyunbin, he realizes it. He's like, oh, we're in trouble. We need to just start getting some eliminations here because getting into this next circle is gonna be almost impossible.
I'm looking at this circle. I feel like it's Aurora and Forthrise right now, who are in some ways stopping each other from being the best in the circle and therefore allowing teams from the south to have an opportunity. If this fight concludes one way or the other, which I don't think it will, Jukes, not at the moment, it could be pretty tricky for everybody else to march forward, but it seems like they found some sort of peace between the two.
Yes, that's the right play in all honesty. You gotta just throw the smokes in between, but like, guys, let's look down south. Let's get all these eliminations, fight each other later for first and second place, because, oh, this is a feeding frenzy here on the south side, as all these teams are just desperate to try to find a spot into this next zone. Hyunbin up close and personal. He's got the shotgun. He can make the plays, and Nongshim Red Force are putting in the work.
Up close and personal.
Take down E-Arena, the lobby leaders right now, only getting 2 elims there, no placements. A nice result for the teams looking to chase. Ulf, though, in a little bit of danger as they try and sweep up from the eastern side and crash into 4 thrives, but with Cypher going down, with 2 players left, actually only 1 player left in action.
Igor.
It's only IQ up on the north side, and Furia, in the meantime, are sweeping up. Over on the inside of the compound, Ayala on the corner. Dodds goes down to Nongshim as they move out to the east. But Furia now, 12 elims. They're looking for more, and a solo from Jiggle, the only thing standing in their way of controlling the entirety of this compound.
Make that 13 eliminations. Furia on a tear. Jiggle up on top, catches out the last player of Ida. Aurora, though, are just waiting for this. Gotta be a little bit careful with that cover flare. A little bit too close. Chief now forced to just run out the open. Jiggle with the jump down, trying to make the play in the 1v2. It's Igor to shut him down.
Hey, that's so nasty, though, because it does mean that Igor's is going to be alone, solo, and will not be able to weather the storm of bullets sent his way by Nongshim Red Force. Now at the open, it's Aurora as we transition up to the north side. And 4 thrives, I mean, they lost so much on that push forwards, and it's just IQ now. Cypher, I don't think you're getting back over to him, mate. And he does go down. IQ, a solo for 4 thrives. 14 eliminations for Nongshim Red Force. 10 for Aurora. This is a big game any way you cut it.
And it's going to be one of these teams that's going to win it. Who's it going to be? It's Aurora versus Nongshim Red Force. Yol gets knocked. That could be the opening volley. But Nongshim Red Force just going to hold that angle. So easy, catches top as well. So just knock after knock, back and forth. That's going to really hurt the utility from both these teams. Reefus, level 2 vest, pretty beat up. Sees an angle, though. Hits the headshot onto Tizzy and gets the knock.
How do you do it to him, Reefus? Goodness me. That is a beautiful start, and this is the open ground I was talking about before, Jukes. It's just so difficult. There is that sloping ridge in front of Nongshim as well, that means they really kind of only have 1 angle to go, and it is fully covered off by Aurora.
Yeah, it's because Aurora is shooting some dang laser beams here at the end. The tiniest pixels, nothing but headshots. Nongshim Red Force, we know they got the gun skill to pay the bills, though. Gonna have to battle it out with Aurora, because Aurora are on fire right now. Now they have the numbers advantage as well, top with 5, and look at that. Nongshim Red Force, they're just stuck. They're stuck in this one spot. They are laying down, but Hyunbin evens out the battle with that huge knock on the Zeal. Perfect timing.
And it's a forward position as well, which means that in order to get them back up, they need to break forwards. For Aurora, they need to expose themselves. That makes it more likely. We're in a 3v3 clean. Hyunbin suppressing the corner of the rock there, looking to try and put them back behind it. And he will bury them behind it as Doc is taken down on the angle. That is resible, but it's going to allow them to move forwards incrementally, making their way, making their approach here. Reefus don't dare step up.
Hyunbin is just an absolute beast with these laydown plays. Putting in the work, catches top. Hyunbin is on fire. Making it happen for his team. Applies that suppressive fire onto Reefus. Reefus cannot afford to get knocked here. If he does, he's gone.
He's got the MG3 from the crate, though. Is it going to be enough? A lot of damage done to him. Zeol's been slowly bleeding out. There has been reses coming through, or attempted to come through from Aurora. And they do manage to pick all 3 of their players back up on the forward front. Zeol finally flushed. Reefus dying left and right with the MG3 barking loudly across the open ground, but he's not going to be enough. It's going to be the knock sent his way, and Nongshim Red Force are giving this an excellent go. Moving forwards, they make it to the rock, and they are just out of range. The nade goes forwards. Only Top remains in the way, and the Molotov burns him. Takes him down.
Nongshim Red Force turning the tables on Aurora. Aurora was looking unstoppable, and then Hyunbin said, "Oh, you think you got it, huh? Nah, we got this."
Clean execution at the end from Nongshim Red Force. A brilliant